A very good morning to everyone who's joined with us this morning as we start our international conference on digital business innovation in Global Outlook 2022. This is a proud moment for Ebenezer Group of institutions in hosting this conference. Past 25 to 30 years, human civilization has seen a great revolution in every walk of life. Technology and digitalization has taken prominence in our life. Digitalization has become an inevitable part of our sustenance. Be it robotic surgery, AI, or drone technology, you ask it and it is there at our disposal.
We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Walk hand in hand, we'll walk hand in hand, we'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace, we shall live in peace, we shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. ओ मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन.
May I now call upon Mrs. Neetu Vellara, May I now call upon Mrs. Neetu Vellara, Director Admissions, for the welcome address.
Just as energy is the basis of life itself and ideas the source of innovation, so is innovation the vital spark of all human change, improvement, and progress. Ted Levitt. A warm and pleasant morning to all. I consider it a privilege and an honor to address a room full of intellectuals and respected personalities. I greet each and every one of you with gratitude in my heart. It's a privilege to witness your presence as we lead to our International Conference 2022. To discuss the theme, Digital Business Innovation in Global Outlook. It's a great pleasure to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Minister of Higher Education, Information Technology, Science and Technology, Biotechnology, Government of Karnataka. Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan is a doctor by profession and is currently the Minister of Higher Education, Government of Karnataka. Under his leadership, the Department of Higher Education has initiated steps to adopt the National Education Policy 2020, making it the first state in India to do so. He also recently launched a comprehensive learning management system in Karnataka, making it the first state in the country to have an integrated LMS with smart classrooms, learning management solutions, and tablet PCs distributed among students for effective digital learning. It's a privilege to have your distinguished presence with us today. We proudly welcome you, sir. I extend my warm welcome to our special guest, Dr. Niranjana Vanali, Vice Chancellor, Bangalore North University. Dr. Niranjana hails from a remote village, Vanali in Sirsi Taluk of Uttara Kannada district. He did his master's and PhD from University of Mysore. He served as the Registrar of Karnataka State, Dr. Gangubai Hangal Music and Performing Arts University, Mysore, between 2016 and 2018. He was appointed as the Director, Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Embassy of India, Tajikistan, in August 2018. Latest is his appointment as the Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University, Kolar. We are happy to have such an accomplished personality with us here today. We welcome you, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome our keynote speaker for the day, Dr. Ganesh Kumar C., Indian Institute of Plantation Management, Bengaluru. He has received his PhD and MBA from Pondicherry Central University. Cleared UGC NET in Management in 2010. He has 2 years of postdoctoral research experience in Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. Served as faculty at VIT University, Vellore. He has published 30 articles in national and international journals, presented 15 research papers in various conferences, and organized different data analytics workshops. He has organized and acted as resources in various hands-on business analytics workshops using Tableau, R, and Excel solver software. His areas of research include agri-food value chain, big data analytics, and socially responsible supply chain. Funded projects from T-Board, IFPRI, USA, and ADB. We are delighted to have you amongst us today. We welcome you, sir. Let me take this opportunity to welcome all our panel discussion team, Professor Satya Narayana, our academic advisor and auditor, Ebenezer Group of Institutions, Dr. Priyanka Krishnamurthy, Marketing Program Manager, VMware San Francisco, USA, Mr. Deepak A., Xperi Corporation, Los Angeles, USA, Mr. Ji Hoon, Gold Merchant, Miami, USA. I wholeheartedly welcome you all to this international conference. Our heartiest welcome goes to all our advisory board members, international and national. Dr. Nirmal Kumar Haldar, Deputy Secretary, Government of People's Republic of Bangladesh. Dr. M.H. Tawfiq, Southeastern University of Sri Lanka. Dr. Shovik Sanyal, Dofa University, Oman. Dr. Partha Sakar, Washington State University, USA. Dr. Dominic D., Registrar Evaluation, Bengaluru North University. Mr. J. Joseph, Syndicate Member, Bengaluru North University. Dr. M. Muninarayanappa, Bangalore University. Dr. Hanumantappa, Bangalore University. We are overwhelmed by your presence and we humbly adore all your support and guidance to us. Welcome you all. I take this opportunity to welcome all our jury members for presentation. Dr. Madhaveshwaran A., Global Academy of Technology, Bengaluru. Dr. Tirukumaran S., KL University, Vijayawada. Dr. Ganesh Babu M., Arters and Elevators Publishing House, Bengaluru. My heartiest welcome to you all. I take this great opportunity to thank and welcome our sponsors, Movers India Private Limited, GS Umesh and Co., Chartered Accountants, Vinay and Keshav, Chartered Accountants. We are grateful and honored with your support rendered on us. We extend our warm welcome to you all. It's my privilege to welcome our Chief Patron, Mr. Sanjeev Chincholi, Chairman, Ebenezer Group of Institutions. You are the beacon and guiding force to us. We are glad to have you amongst us today. We welcome you, sir. Our dearest Secretary, Mrs. Upasana Chincholi, you have been a great motivation for all our endeavors. We welcome you wholeheartedly. Heartiest welcome to our patrons, Mr. Pankaj Roy, Executive Director, and Mr. Lofi Velara, CEO, Ebenezer Group of Institutions. We are empowered by your leadership and inspired by your directions. It's with great joy that I welcome you both. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Kumar K.R., Principal, Ebenezer Management College, to this international conference. Welcome you, sir. I extend my warm welcome to Dr. Tracia Dennis, Principal, Ebenezer School and College of Nursing. Welcome you, ma'am. Extending my warm welcome to our conference coordinator, Professor Vijay Kumar S., HOD, Computer Applications, all our conference committee members, technical team, teaching and non-teaching fraternity of our college, and dear students. A hearty welcome to you all. With great pride, I welcome all those who are presenting their papers and participants for this international conference. Welcome you all. Lastly, I welcome all good things to this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the hearty welcome extended to all. May I now invite Dr. Kumar K.R., Principal, Management College, to throw light on the objectives of this conference and how digital world can enhance our daily living. Over to you, sir.
Distinguished dignitaries, respected patrons, faculty member, research scholar, and my dear students. Good day everyone, and welcome to International Conference on International Business Innovations, the Global Outlook 2022 at Ebenezer Management College, Bangalore, India. How we are formulated this international conference? For the month of November 2021, our management, they are given guidelines. Will you please start one international conference? The long back, almost 30 days, we are conducting 2 important workshops to come down this international conference, the theme as well as sub-theme itself. Almost 2 workshops we have been completed. So in this occasion, I just exhibit about our institution details before we will go for the international conference objective details. Ebenezer Management College having 5 various employability program we are having. The program details: BBA Honoris, BBA Aviations, BCom Honoris, BCom Logistics Supply Chain Management, and BCA Honoris. The 5 program is there. Our institution affiliated to Bangalore North University, Karnataka, approved by State of Karnataka. Since 2003, our institution is running. We have produced n number of valuable student tours in the market. In addition, we are having numerous add-on program related to our regular course as well as add-on activities we are running. Specifically, logistic and port management. At present, drone technology we have been introduced, and blockchain technology, and data science and business analytics, and cryptocurrency portfolio management, mobile application development, and cloud computing, as well as what are the new upcoming, the emerging trend point of everything we are going to add, the content wise, as well as we are going to enhance our program, the entire aspect. In addition to that, my dear friends, our institutions, we are moving towards, especially for practically how we are going to make our entire program things, instead of that going for bookish informations, weekly once, based on the domain as well as program, as well as subject wise, we are going to conduct the n number of the experiential learning activities. The experience learning activities with help of Professor Satyanara guidelines, we are doing entire activities, as well as monthly once, based on all program activities, we are taking all the students in various the large scale enterprises, especially for the manufacturing industry. We are taking all the students, what is a live, it seems to going on, especially for the theory wise students, they come to know all the details, and practically how they are going to get it, the various business structure and the function of the business activities, we are going to show in the detailed manner. So our institution, I think there is no gap between academic as well as a corporate. We are terminating each and every movement, their insightful knowledge we are going to provide. And my dear friends, you can't imagine, we add weekly once the industrial guest speaker in all program. Already I mentioned 5 program is there. So 5 industrial guests weekly once we are going to get it. Within 3 months, we are reached almost 52 industrial guest speaker. So various domain expertise, especially for the emerging trend point of what are the things available. So we are going to exhibit in the various the level, especially for student community. So at present, very big thanks to my management, especially for Mr. Lofi Vellara. He is real backbone of the entire activities, because comparatively me as a principal academically, he is running as well as academic as well as corporate, what are the changes it is going on. So entire things are will follow, and global wise the industry as well as corporate, the entire things, another very big the gentleman Mr. Pankaj Roy will take care. In addition to that, each and every point of students, if they are having any kind of the maybe related to academic, even other aspect also, Miss Nuthu Vellara, madam is taking care each and every aspect point of. So for the purpose only, so I want to thank to my management, because last 90 days, they are taking too much of the pain and struggle. We have to give the best conference related to these activities. And pertaining to this international conference, I want to tell some statistical report. We have received almost 152 research article. Out of 152, we have been selected only for 120. So remaining 32 we have been rejected. Reason, they are not going to fit our demand. So our activities, 2 important demand is there. One is according to APA format. Some technical paper, the too much the engineering oriented or computer application oriented, we are giving the preference to IEEE standard. The following the 2 important aspect point of, we come to know only 120 paper. Out of 120, only few due to the time limitation, we are giving only for the presentations. And our article rejection rate is exactly 21%. In addition to that, one more the big information, already 1,500 various delegates, maybe research scholar, faculty member and the students already registered. They are going to enter our Facebook live also. The primary objective of international conference, we are creating the excellent platform in between the various dignitaries, especially for faculty members and practitioners and research scholar, as well as the students. We are creating the excellent platform, because emerging trend points of what are the content is right now is burning. They are going to discuss the today international conference with help of our panel member and the jury member. They are going to give some baseline details. So here, maybe 30 papers from we are received, the various transnational, international, and global wise, and the name I will like to inform, United States of America, German, Australia, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. The few more papers are still they are sending, we have to scrutinize. This work also still the pending is there. Okay, in the primary objective of international conference, we want to identify what is the cutting edge competition or cut through activities or bottle edge activities we want to identify. Then same thing we want to display in front of student, research scholar, academician and practitioners. They want exchanging idea one and others. They want to make the excellent business applications activities. And we will go not only for the any one domain activities, multidisciplinary point of whether in the various aspects, whether you are taking as a economics or commerce or e-commerce or cryptocurrency, the emerging point of entire things we are going to provide the platform to enhance their knowledge, to gain, to implement their business activities. And the key platform researcher and international to diversified idea from one and others. And we want to make highest utilizations our idea in the today international conference. And today's speaker, maybe from the USA 2 member, and one from South Korea, another one our Indian delegates. Likewise, the mixture of people we are going to forward towards these activities. In the 21st century, we come to know only for data science or data or information or wisdom or insightful activities is a exactly best lubricant to enhance our overall economic activities, because already we are economic entire things is a downsizing the turmoil activities there. We want to eradicate with help of the technical aspect is there. So for the purpose, our entire team, we have been looking emerging innovation, IT, BT, and artificial intelligence and expert system, big data analytics, cloud computing, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, IoT application. These are content we are going to discuss while they are going to give the presentations. So I wish all attendees as well as presenter this conference, you are going to definitely get the huge volume of the idea to enhance your curriculum as well as industrial point of how you are going to change entire things. Hope so. This is maybe you are going to the take home message today international conference. All the very best. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for running us through the objectives of the whole conference. A great visionary who wants every child receiving the opportunity to learn. Making education accessible to all is the principle of our chairman by which he works, Mr. Sanjeev Chincholi. Let's hear from him.
A very warm welcome to the International Conference in Business Management. I welcome all the dignitaries, all the speakers to this conference, wherein you people will teach and speak about the technology involved in today's modern world. As everybody knows, innovative minds always create innovative ideas. So this is a platform wherein all dignitaries who are present will speak about technology and its used in your normal routine life. So I welcome all and I really thank our Honorable Minister, Shri Ashwath Narayan to accept and give his time in his busy schedule and grace this occasion. Thank you, welcome all, and learn and please teach. Knowledge is divine. Thank you, thanks a lot. Congratulations, all the best.
Thank you, sir. Learn and please teach. Knowledge is divine is the watchword by which our chairman runs. It is indeed a matter of great pride for us as we have with us Chief Guest Dr. C. N. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, IT, Biotechnology, Science and Technology, Karnataka State.
Thank and congratulate Ebenezer Group of Institution for coming out with a very relevant topic for the present and future trends of digital business innovations. Respected dignitaries and all the guests who are participating on this virtual conference, I would like to share, since all of us do understand, all of us we understood the importance and the impact of the technology innovation, startup and incubators and entrepreneurship, how it is changing the way we have been doing things. So probably in this direction, in our country, Karnataka State, especially the Bangalore city, has become the leader in IT, ITS services, innovation, technology and startups. This place has become the most happening place and it is leading from front. And it has made a huge difference in the way we have been doing things by adapting computerization in the 90s and promoting IT and ITS services. It has changed the destiny of this country. This has led to many reforms and changes where we have been doing things. The benefit of that, we are seeing it now. So with all these good reasons, now we have been exporting more than 150 billion US dollars only in IT and ITS services, excluding GIC, GCCs and other technology companies, startups and many companies based on the technology they have been functioning. Indirect benefit is immense. Probably even the governance, even in governance, if you see how it has changed, how the government is able to connect with each and every person, by name, by identity, without any pilferage, within a matter of seconds, we can reach out any benefit and connect with that person and ensure whatever government has planned the welfare, all that benefit will be transferred to that particular person within a matter of seconds. So by making use of the technology, the government has become very effective, very functional, and reaching out to all sections of society. Even for the have-nots have been benefited much more than the people who have everything. So the have-nots has been benefited in a much bigger way. So the technology is for everybody. It makes the society really equitable and inclusive. Because from the post-independence, always we have been talking about the exclusiveness, excluding, not being equitable, unequitable. So address all these concerns, technology, you can become a very good level player, and more so if our country has to compete with the entire world. Technology innovation is going to play a very big role along with the entrepreneurship. It's going to play a very big role. The making use of the technology has changed in all sectors, as all of you are aware. That it be medical field, meditech, education, edutech, banking industry, commerce, government, the government, governance, in all possible sectors, entrepreneurship, everywhere the technology is playing an immense role. Probably way forward, we need to further scale it up and believe strongly in technology. In this direction, government has come out with a very clear policy in the NEP also. STEM, non-STEM students also will be allowed to learn technology. There is no limitation. Humanities student also will learn about the technology. The commerce student will learn about technology. The science student will learn about the humanity or the commerce. Like this, the multidisciplinary has been allowed and it is become very flexible, and everything is based on technology, even from the street vendor to farming to space, everything is technology. In our state, our our government has been emphasizing a lot on this aspect, and we have become the leaders in startup, in innovation, in technology, in IT services, designing the chips or the semiconductor, in all possible areas, let it be from space to everything, we are the leaders. So we need to further promote in a much more bigger way. That should become our culture. This is the way forward. If we want to become the world leader, if we need to become the world leader, this is the way forward. Each and every children of our state or our country need to be provided a quality education. Real quality education should be provided, and holistic education should be provided. So by doing this, probably the learning will take us to the next level, combining with the technology, innovation and entrepreneurship. So with these good things being taken up in a right way, our society can do well. Probably with these few words, I would like to stop here. Once again, recognize the Ebenezer group of institutions for doing right things and taking up this right issue, and more so, this is much more relevant in our society. We need to strongly embrace, promote the technology and the learning in a very big way. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Vikram.
Thank you, sir, for those kind words. We highly appreciate your initiative in the field of education. We also have with us Dr. Niranjan Vanali, Vice Chancellor, Bengaluru North University, to share his greetings with us.
Good morning. As Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಉತ್ತರ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿರುವಂಥ ಎಬಿನೈಸರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಿರುವಂಥ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ. ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 120 papers have already come. That means so many researchers have shown interest in this virtual international conference. Gone are the days where the education for education's sake. Now it should be technology oriented, it should fetch jobs to our younger generation, and international conferences like this will go a long way in achieving those goals. I wish this international conference very success, and I hope it will be very useful for all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those kind words. We are more than looking forward in running an institution, achieving the goal what we have set for our institution. Thank you, sir. Bringing shape and reality to the dream and leaving no stone unturned in running the institution is the watchword which our Chief Executive Director, Mr. Lofi Vallara, runs with. He is young and dynamic, and he is the cornerstone for our institution.
Innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. Steve Jobs. Today, we are Ebenezer Group of Institution. We are conducting an international conference on digital business innovation in global outlook. A special thanks to Dr. Ashwat Narayan, our Higher Education Minister, and Dr. Niranjana, Bangalore North University Vice Chancellor, and keynote speaker, all the panel members, our advisory board, national and international. All of you, thank you very much from Ebenezer Group of Institutions. At the same time, since last couple of months, we have a team. They are working really hard to make a successful international conference. That is our management team. Dr. K.R. Kumar, he was leading this team. He is our principal. A special thanks to you, sir. Finally, all the participants, I know that you have a lot of expectation. I am very much sure that before you leave this platform, after 3 hours, you will gain a lot of knowledge. With that expectation, once again, thank you very much to all of you. Namaskaram.
Thank you, sir, for being a constant motivator and a big support for all of us here in the Ebenezer Group.
A candle burns itself, but gives lights to others. Let us be the candle and remove the darkness around us.
Let me burn like a candle and show paths to my students. Sharing and caring is the mantra of my life.
I take an oath today to dedicate my life and lighten the path of others.
From today, I shall take the responsibility of my class's success and even failure.
Taking responsibilities
Of others,
is called
Ebenezer.
Registrar Evaluation, Bengaluru North University.
ಅಬಿನೈಸರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಇದೇ ತಿಂಗಳು 18-19ರಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ನೋವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎನ್ನುವ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದೇ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ದಿನಗಳ ಈ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣಕ್ಕೆ 120 ಪ್ರಬಂಧಗಳು ಬಂದಿವೆ ಎಂದೂ ಸಹ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. Human civilization has passed through 4 revolutions. The first revolution is invention of agriculture. The second one is the industrial revolution that took place during colonial rule. The third one is, shortly it's called ITBT, Information Technology and Biotechnology. Certainly, these 3 revolutions in human history is a landmark for the standardization of life, agonies, resolution, etc. But of late, it is said the 4th revolution is staying, which is known as digital revolution. This digital revolution, again, which is the progress of human intelligence, particularly in the name of artificial intelligence, when this artificial intelligence has come to stay, then e-commerce, computer education, online business, etc. is of the talk of the town. But for me, digital revolution has its own agonies for the people, particularly democratic societies like us. The first one is this data. Human life is reduced into data mining. Everything is reduced into information. It is here the agony is pouring in. It is said that human life, when it comes into big data business, it is nothing but data colonization. People are reduced into not their basic needs, but virtual reality, where everything is in terms of cloud technology, etc. But for me, the cloud technology has to have its ground. The ground is the people's toiling across the globe. Of late, because of COVID, International Labour Organization, it said that 53% of the people, 53% of the communities across the globe have lost their social securities. If so, where the young can look into the future? They are again de-skilled in the name of computer education and digital revolution. I want to reiterate that basic literacy should be a must. If at all it has to answer to the democratic desires of the people, then this digital revolution has to incorporate the open source business possibilities for the people. It has to include the toiling communities at the grassroots level. If so, then there is a promises to be made. Otherwise, it's nothing but regimentation of life and the life world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those encouraging words. May I now invite Dr. Ganesh Kumar C., Professor, Indian Institute of Plantation Management, for the keynote address for the conference.
One minute, I'll share my screen. Yeah, can I share my screen?
Yes, sir. We are making arrangements, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. You can go on, sir.
One minute. I'm not able to see my screen option.
We can see your screen, sir.
You can screen my screen.
You can start, sir. The screen is opening up here.
Yeah. Good morning to all. Before starting my presentation, I'd like to thank the Ebenezer Group of Institutions for this opportunity to share my keynote address on artificial intelligence for digital business. Okay. So if you look at this, we are into fourth industrial revolution. Okay. So if you look at this 5 years before or 10 years before, there is no conference on digital business or blockchain or AI. But if you look at recently, a lot of people are talking about even government, even any sector, if you take, they talk about digital. artificial intelligence, blockchain, all these things. Because of we are into fourth industry revolution. So if you look at the first one is from mechanization. So normally any production they started with handmade product. They started using machine. That is the first industry revolution. Second, we are into electricity. They started using electricity for manufacturing all these things. That is the second industry revolution. The third one is for us computer and internet. Now we are into fourth industry revolution. So if you look at this each and every industry revolution, there are different technologies will come and different jobs will created and some of the jobs will be go off. So if you look at this current industry revolution, there are new jobs are coming in. So as a faculty member, as a industry person, we should create a job or you to teach the subject related to this industry revolution 4.0. So if you look at this expert, they are talking about this technology. Particularly, there are different technologies are there in fourth industrial revolution. One of the key technologies, artificial intelligence. So if you look at this, there is a Coursera founder, he's a Stanford professor. He was telling artificial intelligence is a new electricity. So now we can't imagine this webinar or any kind of online class without electricity, right? Similarly, future, we can't imagine any business or any activity without artificial intelligence. So how the electricity has changed the world. Similarly, the future, the AI will change the entire thing in the world. So that was his prediction. So if you look at this, what is the major thing is a lot of jobs. Okay, so if you look at this part, some of the product, okay, so it was there in 10 years or 20 years before. Now this product is not there. Okay, so similarly in the fourth industrial revolution, there are people are talking about skill related to some of the skills. Particularly, they are talking about these skills, data analytics, AI. These are some of the skill the World Economic Forum are predicted. So these are the data entry related job. So these are the jobs will be taken over by AI and other technology. So we have to develop the student skill related to this area, and also we have to do research in this area, the emerging technology. One of the emerging technologies, blockchain, AI, IoT, and other technology. So if you look at the AI, we know AI is created in 1950 itself. So people know what is AI, artificial intelligence. But recently, people are talking about AI. Okay, recently mean maybe last 5 years or 3 years they're talking about AI. But if you look at the history, they know AI 1950 itself. Okay, so why we are talking about now? Because of the data. Okay, now the world is fighting for data. All the Google, Facebook, everything they are giving free. What is the business model is based on the data. So they are using data for their business purpose. Okay, so if you look at any government, if you take any industry, if you take, they're fighting for only data. Because if you look at this 1950 itself, we know what is AI, but we are talking now AI because of the availability of data. Okay, so for creating artificial intelligence, we need data. So for natural intelligence, we are human, right? We have natural intelligence that is created from experience. But creating artificial intelligence, we need more data. That's why a lot of companies and organizations are fighting for data. Okay, so data, we don't think it's not only numbers, it may be text file, audio file, video file. Okay, if you look at the world data, it is not numbers, only 12%, less than 12% are around 12 to 20% will be structured data, numbers. Remaining all data in the world is form of unstructured data, videos, audio, images. Okay, so using the data, the government and organization are developing artificial intelligence product. As a faculty member, as a industry person, we have to do research on this unstructured data. So not only structured data, you have to work on how to analyze the video data, audio data. So a lot of use cases are there, to doing a lot of innovative project on this data. Okay, so if you look at this, they have predicted the impact of this artificial intelligence on different economy. So China is leading in this artificial intelligence, and next one is US. So if you look at the India also started the world fourth industrial revolution center in Delhi, and they have started a lot of initiatives. Government, Digital India, NITI Aayog, a lot of document they have created. There are ministry working on digital initiatives, because the future will be only digital. Not only government point of view, even in a small startup to big company, the technology, digitalization is very, very important. So if you look at this, these are some of the report Indian government launched national strategy for artificial intelligence. One of the sector they're focusing on healthcare and agriculture. Okay, you can, if you want, you can check it in Google. It's available. They have come up with some of the policy implications. And similarly, the blockchain also they're implementing. They feature a lot of certification issue. The school, college certification. They're trying to implement blockchain. Similarly, land record, everywhere they're trying to implement, but slowly it's coming. The future definitely will be in the digital technologies. Similarly, if you look at this, even though we know the data is the key for AI, even though we know 1950 itself what is artificial intelligence, people now they are talking because availability of data. So even though data is there, why we are getting data? Why we are not getting data in 1950 itself? Okay, why now suddenly lot of data is coming? Okay, so one of the reason is the penetration of technology and consumer pattern change. So technology means there are two technologies are very important. One is mobile technology, another one is internet. People are talking about 4G, now people are talking about 5G. And smartphone. Smartphone mean all technology. Now people are talking about lot of advanced features in smartphone. So this technology has created this much of data. Okay, so technology means a mobile, smart mobile phone and internet speed. Okay, so and if you look at the generation, people are so comfortable. So all the people are comfortable using technology. Particularly young generation, they know how to operate a mobile. If you give this mobile to even a small kid, they know how to open YouTube and other things. So the future generation, they're very much comfortable with the technology. And a lot of old people also, they are creating Facebook page and they're entering into digital platforms. Okay, so because of the technology and people comfortable, all government, okay, not only government and all industry, they're transforming into digital economy. So particularly UK, they're leading in the digital economy, and Indian government also they started digital India initiatives. There are some challenges are there, but slowly they are progressing. Some of the initiatives are they are implementing lot of apps, GST filing, and even MOOC courses, Swayam courses, lot of government schemes, they're converting into mobile app and digital platforms. So without this mobile technology or without internet, these initiatives are not possible. And similarly, if you look at the industries, okay, so if you look at the world largest taxi company, no vehicles mean, if you look at this, it is a digital company. The world most popular media, they not creating any content, that also a digital company. The most valuable retailer has no inventory, that also digital company. The world largest accommodation provider owns no real estate. So that also, if you look at this all this company, Uber, Facebook, Alibaba, Airbnb, if you look at this, all the companies are digital. So without mobile phone, without internet, these companies are not at all possible. They're doing some digital innovation to create new values to the customers. So similarly, if you look at the other company, Netflix and other companies, so all the companies are basic business model is internet and mobile phone. Similarly, the world largest bookseller is Amazon. World largest direct marketing companies Google and Facebook. So all these things are digital business models. Similarly, a song company and WhatsApp. Okay, so all these things are, if you look at this, their basic business model is digital. Okay, Swiggy, Zomato, all the business model, innovation models. So if you look at the FMGC, fast-moving consumer, if you go to any retail store, if you take any product, it is dominated by this 10 companies in fast-moving consumer goods. Similarly, in future, all the technology companies are dominated by this major company like Amazon, Microsoft, and other companies. Even though Amazon we know is an e-commerce company, they are entering into smart speaker, music, movie reviews, streaming service, e-retailer, cloud storage, gaming. So even though it's a digital company, they are entering into diverse portfolio of different business. Similarly, all the companies, even though we think that Microsoft is software company, they are entering into agriculture. Everywhere they are entering. Similarly, all the technology companies are diversifying the business using the digital business innovations. Similarly, if you look at the world, 20 largest companies, if you take, it is led by the Alphabet and the Google-based companies and Amazon, all technology companies leading in the world. So if you look at the, if you Standard & Poor's, the rating, okay, in 1957, if you want to list in one of the company, it takes 75 years. Currently, it's taking less than 10 years because of this digital company. The progress of digital companies are very good compared to the traditional business model. So even though they are in traditional like Walmart, they're traditionally brick and mortar stores. Now they are entering into online also. So everything they're converting into digital forms. Okay, so when anything become digital, there are a lot of data will come. Okay, here it's the data. So without technology and without digitalization, there is no data. So without data, there is no artificial intelligence. There is no fourth industrial revolution. We don't organize this conference. Okay, so because of this process, we are into this conference and we are able to do a lot of activities, projects, training program and different skill you have to develop for the student because of this history and this process. So if you look at this, human has created data, and up to 2005, human has created only 130 exabytes of data in the world. Okay, but if you look at now, we have 2005 138 exabyte, 2010 1200, now 2020, right? 40,000 exabytes. So data we are generating daily, each and every day is exponential growth. It's not no simple growth. It's like an exponential growth of data is coming from the different sources because of the technology, because of the digital transformation. Okay, so where this data is coming? Okay, one is from the ERP. Every server, like any company, if you take, there are servers will be there. They call it as ERP. Okay, so one source of data is coming from this. The word is ERP in the companies or any government organization. Okay, so second one is IoT, machine generated data. Okay, so it's mostly if you look at your mobile phone, it's a lot of sensors. There is a old mobile phone. So a lot of data we are giving to the different companies from your mobile phone itself. Okay, that is the second source of data for the world. Okay, so if you look at the third source of data is from social media, people. Okay, so if you look at this, Facebook login in 2020 1.3, in 2021 1.4 million. So if you look at any social media, the data generated by people are very huge. Okay, so if you look at whatever the data we are getting in the world, three sources. One is from ERP, from the server of any organization. Second one is IoT, sensors, machine generated data. Third one is people. Ourselves, we are into different digital platform. Whenever you are entering into a digital platform, you are generating a lot of data. So among the three sources, the major source of data is coming from the machine. Okay, IoT based data. Okay, so we have a lot of potential to do research and teach the student to collect this data, analyze the data, to take a decision on machine generated data. So most of the project in academic and other way they use questionnaire. So try to use this kind of data for innovative project and research. Okay, this is a Fitbit daily. If you are using anybody Fitbit watch, where daily we are generating almost 2 to 5 GB of data from the sensors. Okay, so when data is there, next one is storage. Okay, if you look at the this is the storage box. Okay, this is the storage drive in 1956. Okay, so that is 5 MB data from IBM. Okay, if you want to store all available data now, we have to create like a Bangalore kind of space to store all our data. So, but if you currently look at this. The same size, now SanDisk giving almost 1 GB, 1 TB of data, we can store it in the same size. The storage size is same, but the storage capacity is increasing. But we don't have technology in 1950. Whatever the data, we have to store it in the huge space and you have to delete the data. So now whatever the data is generated from machines, social media and IoT, all the data are stored in this technology. Okay, so similarly, feature they're talking about and the cost of storage of data also coming down. Okay, nowadays we are not paying any money for storing 1 GB of data for Google Drive or Dropbox. Okay, but if you look at the 1950 or 1960, if you want to store 1 GB of data, you have to pay a lot of money. Okay, the storage cost also coming down. And feature they're talking about bacterial DNA. So same size we can store entire world data with very small space. So all these technologies creating a lot of new innovation in business models. So these are some of the laws. So every 13 months, the capacity speed is the capacity speed and other things are increasing. Okay, so once you have data, you have to process it. Okay, so end of the day, AI analytics, all these things, you have to convert the data into information. So in order to convert the data into information, we need a very good computer. So if you look at the world first computer, this much space. Okay, so if you look at the whatever we use computer in 5 years or 10 years before, the same capacity we are using in the mobile phone itself. So if you look at the RAM, we have 3 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. If you look at your old computer, 5 years or 10 years before, the RAM capacity will be 1 GB RAM. So what are the features they talking about? Quantum computing, different kind of technology. So the processing speed of the computer are increasing when compared to 50 years or 20 years before. So because of all these things, we are into this digital technology. Lot of scope for doing research and skill development for the student in this area. Okay, so if you look at this, the processing speed also increasing for every 18 months. Okay, so end of the day, we are using this data. So why we are talking about AI now? Because of the technology. Why we are talking about technology? Because of the transformation of digital business. Okay, all the companies or government are converting it to digital. Once you become digital, we have to a lot of data will come. So once you have data, you have to store it in server. So the storage cost also coming down. Once you have the storage cost, you have to process it. So the processing speed also increasing. So once you have all these things, so then the companies are using this data for better decision making. So all the government policies or government companies decision. So nowadays they're using for data driven decision making. Okay, so there is a law called theory of bounded reality. So human minds are limited when the decision time is very limited and the options are more. It's very difficult to process from the mind. So that's why the analytics and data science are very, very important. Okay, so if you look at this, all the companies. Okay, so there is a famous quote by quality guru Edward Deming: "In God we trust, all other must bring data." So any decision, if you have to take us as an individual or a company point of view or government point of view, we have to use data. So that is the feature for any kind of decision making. So if you look at the companies are using this, this data for different purpose. One is for engaging customers and employees. Second one is for data analytics. Third one is automation. So if you look at this 5 years before, if you call some call center, somebody sitting there and attend the call. Nowadays, everybody is a chatbots and some automatic call will be answered. So all these things is based on the data analytics. Okay, so this is what the entire presentation. So we have data. Because of the data, we are into artificial intelligence. So data is not simply coming because of the technology, particularly mobile technology and internet, and the consumers also comfortable. Okay, so that's why all the government and the industry, they're converting into digital transformation. So anything digital transformation, the data we generated. So data is coming from different sources. One of the sources, the IoT, people, and third one is server. So the data storage cost also coming down and computation speed also very good. So because of this one, the data analytics, automation, and understanding the customers are increasing in the world. Okay, so these are some of the use cases of digital business innovation. So whatever we are using currently, Google Assistants, all these things is part of the artificial intelligence product. So they are using data, voice data, and developing this product. So the Google Map. So this is also example of digital business innovation. And when you search something in Google, when you open your Facebook, some product will be recommended. So how the Google and Facebook are connected. So all these things they are using the data analytics. Okay, so if you look at the Amazon, 30% revenues are coming for recommendation. So if you open your Amazon or Swiggy or Zomato, it recommended some product. How they are using background is data analytics. So if you look at your mail inbox, right, there is some mail will go to spam. So there also they're using AI and artificial intelligence. So stock market prediction, they're using artificial intelligence. Healthcare, they're using image classification, they're using the technology, artificial intelligence, and translation, language translation, weather forecasting. So driverless car. Okay, so all these things they're using artificial intelligence and IoT based tracking of food item, they're using artificial intelligence, and a robot based kitchen, robotic kitchen, they're using artificial intelligence. Sports, they're using artificial intelligence, and some of the games, the world toughest game like Geoparity, AlphaGo, they're using machines, reinforcement AI, they're using for this kind of games. IBM, they come up with a debater, okay, a political debater they created. Even for some of the exam during lockdown, we are using the AI-based proctoring examination, AI camera we are using. So these are some of the use cases. We are into digital business innovation. So a lot of startup companies are working in this area. The Chinese, they're using a port, they're using AI-based technology. And these are from the agriculture. So a lot of startup, Indian-based agriculture startup, even almost 450 agri-tech companies are there. They're working on different areas, the solution they're working, and all the business innovation there is. They come up with a different solution with the tie-up with farmers and other banks to come up with the Indian-based issues they're solving with the technology, blockchain, AI, and other related technology they're using. Similarly, food tech, similarly health tech. Any company, if you take a lot of startup company working on technology-based, solutions. Food tech technology also. So with this, I'll just conclude. So we are into the fourth industry revolution. It's nothing but AI. AI is the key. Other technology also there. So as a faculty member, we have to work on this technology. Okay. So particularly in future, all the companies will be tech company. Even any education institute if you take, we have to use technology. Similarly, any company if you take, without technology, nothing is possible. So we have to work on this technology, particularly work on the data, unstructured data, to do innovative project, okay, which is relevant to the society. Okay, so this is the final point I want to give to the audience. Okay, so we have to focus on this area to give the relevant research to the societies. Okay, thank you. And any question, anything we can discuss.
Thank you, sir, for the in-depth knowledge you have shared with us on business development and technology usage in the modern world. Dr. Trecia Dennis, Principal, School and College of Nursing, is the epitome of passion, care, and empathy. Let us hear from her.
Hi, dear teachers and students. Digitalization is a dream since many years. digitalization is a part of life for millions through many electronic devices, which is very essential for life. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Ebenezer management for selecting an appropriate theme and sub-theme for the international conference. Frankly speaking, digital business innovations among digital healthcare plays very vital role in healthcare today. It includes telemedicine, healthcare services. One can analyze healthcare informatics, hospital information technology, hospital medical technology and health records for a long time. Artificial intelligence is focusing on big data entries, robotic services, robotic surgeries, machine learning continues in digital healthcare. For example, we manage the whole world through vaccines, devices, apps and wearable devices. For example, pulse oximeter, ECG, smartphone-based pacemakers, glucose monitoring devices and so on. Empower your power through digitalization. All the best, Ebenezer management team.
We have come to the highlight of this conference, the panel discussion. We have distinct guests participating from different parts of the world. The panel is headed by Professor Satyanarayan R., Academic Advisor and Auditor, Ebenezer Group of Institutions, Dr. Priyanka Krishnamurthy, US, VMware San Francisco, Dr. Deepak A., Zeperi Corporation, Los Angeles, Mr. Ji Hyun Hu, a gold merchant from Miami. May I now invite Professor Satyanarayan R. to take over the proceedings.
Good morning to all of you. I welcome to this panel of discussion on this prestigious event they have organized in a beautiful manner. I invoke what I heard so far from eminent speakers. We are here with Dr. Priyanka and Mr. Deepak, and also we have Mr. Ji Yu. I welcome my friends here in this panel. We heard a lot today about digitalization in India. We know the innovation landscape in India covers everything, whether it is vegetable or milk sachets or anything, from technology to manufacturing, we have everything. In the past, to be precise, in my days, the technology was amazing when I saw the credit and debit cards. We used to call it plastic cards. We were amazed to see that, and followed by ATMs. And now we are into the age of robots, and we are into the age of many other things like e-passports. See, I know all of us are going to discuss many of the innovation that is going through in these days. But let's look at what is the next step that we have. Few words about this is, I just look forward for a jackpot of technology and surprises that the government of India have introduced through, all of you must have understood during the budget that, want to integrate e-passports. Today, in United Kingdom, USA, and Germany, in fact, if I am correct, these are three countries do have these e-passports. This actually, with integrated chips, and it will supplement and implement the present passports that we have. This definitely cutting technology, make e-passports more secure and, of course, convenient too. There will be a rectangular antenna integrated into it, and this will really make something which we may be very well secured when we carry passport. All of us have traveled abroad, and we always notice by not having a chip integrated, sometimes if we lose our passport, we are in problem actually. So this is going to be a big, big thing that's going to happen apart from e-currency that we are looking into. Coming back to now this panel of discussion, the onus is on some of the papers that our friends going to present today. We invite a questionnaire also. We are ready to respond whatever little we can make sure that it will enlighten the audience who have gathered here. And now it is my duty to call upon our panelists to say a few words about this. To start with, Dr. Priyanka, please. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you everybody and good morning. And Professor Satyanarayana has a very good introduction on what we are going to discuss today.
Yeah.
Is it fine now?
There is some audio disturbance on your end.
Yeah, audio disturbance. Yes.
Is it clear now?
No, ma'am. There is some blur sound.
What we will do meanwhile,
Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Yes.
Is it audible now?
Yeah. Yes. Very,
So
very.
this is better, I think. Yeah, I was just telling good morning, everybody. And it was a great introduction by Professor Satyanarayana on what is the trends that are happening in terms of the digital transformation. Sitting on the Silicon Valley of the globe, we every day we process data, we look at things that are changing in terms of everywhere in the globe. So there are certain aspects of the digital transformation that I'm going to discuss today, which are going to define the next decade. So we have seen a lot of innovations from 80s onwards, in terms of the digital transformation. So let's look beyond what we have seen and understand what exactly is going to be the future. What are the technologies that are going to drive the digital innovations in the next decades to come? With that, I'll be sharing my presentation. Wonderful, it works. Okay, so in today's presentation, I'll be covering on three topics. That is one on the social media innovations. I call it as a social media 2.0. And the next one that I'm going to discuss on the importance of the cybersecurity and how it is going to transform the digital transformation in the coming decade. And the third one that I'm going to discuss is on the cloud computing and the distributed enterprises. So let's start with the social media 2.0. So when we look at the social media 1.0, it's all about getting the people on these platforms, just creating the awareness and making sure that people can trust the social media and come on board. But let's look at this data. So we have total population of the world is around 7.5 billion, and out of which the internet users are 4.21 billion, which is almost 53% of the total population of the world. And look at the third factor, the active social media users out of this is 3.196 billion, which is 42%. That means half of the world is on the social media, almost like it's 42%. We are close to half of the population of the world. That means it's a huge market, even if you look at a consumer or you look at a marketer or an advertiser, this is going to be a huge market in the coming decades to come as well, with certain innovations in the social media 2.0. And we have mobile users of 5.135 billion, and then the people who use social media on the mobile phone is almost 2.95 billion. So over the years, from the web-based servers usage of the social media users, we have moved to the active mobile social media users. So let's look at some of the trends where we can see that how these social media platforms are going to head in the next decade. So the data says that average person spends almost 7 hours on the internet, out of which 80% of which is on the social media platform. Definitely, that's true. And in the last 3 years, 1 billion people have joined the social media. So if you look at the trends, there are 4 different trends that are going to continue in the next decade. The first one is the monetization model. The second is user experience, or the emphasis on the user experience. Third one is going to be, they are going to operate as platforms and not networks. And they're also going to be powerful social connectors in the decade to come. Let's look at the monetization models. Today, if you look at social media 1.0, this is all about harnessing the data of the individuals. They track where you go, what you do, what activities you are into, and then they are going to sell this to the advertisers. And these advertisers are going to make use of this data to retarget the services. But when we look at what's happening, slowly this is changing. The social media platforms are becoming more transparent to the individuals. That's the reason we can see that instead of free services, there is the emergence of the subscription models. For example, there is Twitch, which you can subscribe and watch many number of the channels, and the revenue is going to be shared between the content creator and the Twitch. And Facebook has a stars where you can donate to them. If you like somebody, you can directly donate to them. And also similarly with the Twitter super subscribers, right? These are the newer trends or newer emphasis that has been given by the social platforms. Also, you can tip the players in the gaming platforms. Also, there is existence of the support groups, donations, charity foundations, which are going to run through the social media platforms. And the second one is the user experience. So the social media platforms are becoming like a service providers. So what does that mean? That means that they're trying to create a social experience rather than just being a connecting tools or a networking platforms for the individuals. For example, TikTok will show you a trending videos. It won't require you to like any of the videos or doesn't require you to share or comment on the videos. Earlier, for example, the Facebook, right? It never used to be like that. For example, you have to like or share and comment so that it is going to throw up similar content for you. But that's changing today. So there is a focus, emphasis, which is given on the user experience to make it a feel-good factor for the individuals for the time or the amount of the time that they're going to spend on the social media. So this helps even the content creators to reach the maximum audience beyond the regular people who are going to watch their videos or the content that they're going to create. And the third one is they're going to operate as a platforms and not the networks. So earlier there used to be just general platforms connecting with the people, sharing your pictures or whatever, wherever you have traveled, you can share that information. But now, if you look at, there are subgroups which exist within these social media platforms, which act as which focus on the niche activities, such as if you're interested, you have a group of people who are interested in cooking. If you're traveling, there are a group of people, there are a subset of the groups which exist in the social media platforms. Even in the workplaces, we use Slack, Steam. These are all workspace management social media teams, which are highly successful. And then you have Instagram Reels, which are similar to TikTok videos for the entertainment. And then they are going to remain, as I told earlier, it's almost 42% of the population literally lives on this social media. So they are going to be the powerful social connectors for the next decade to come. One best example that I can quote is when last year we had the attack on the US White House, all major social media platforms blocked activities because they wanted to stop the spread of this hate message further. But this was controversial. A lot of leaders in the globe said that this is against democracy, you cannot stop. But that discussion goes on again and again. And also, if you look at the advertising revenue of the major social media platforms, there is a huge spike. For example, the Google's advertising revenue in the last quarter was 61.24 billion, which is 33% higher than the last year's same quarter. And also the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and virtual reality, these are going to drive the social media 2.0. The next trend that I want to discuss is on the cybersecurity. So let's look at this data. Every 11 seconds, there is any organization in the globe which is going to fall victim for these cybersecurity attacks. And out of this, 59% of the attacks involve double extortion. What do you mean by double extortion? For example, somebody hacks into Microsoft servers, they're going to ask ransom from Microsoft, and then once the Microsoft pays them, they're also going to sell whatever the data they collected in this activity to somebody who is interested, a third party, and also they're going to collect money from them. So it's acting as a double extortion. And almost more than 4,000 ransomware attacks happen daily. It may be to you, or to a bigger organization, victim of the ransomware attacks. It can be a very simple message or an email that you are going to see in your mailbox. And they also offer as we call that as a ransomware as a service, something similar to as software as a service. These are fully funded companies which are going to attack on the major companies or the major social groups. So what is the damage caused by this? If you look at this data, it says that in 2019 it was 8 billion, and 2021 it almost is 20 billion. It's more than double fold in just 2 years. So there is a lot of emphasis which is given by all major organizations on the security aspects. If you look at a bigger organization, they try to have security measures in place, including the zero trust security. And now there is a scope and growth of east-west security in order to stop any attacks that are going to happen on the data and the system of an organization. But if you look at the individual level, so what are some of the aspects that we can take to ensure that we are not going to be prone to the cyber attacks? Is your laptop and the mobile is gateway to the world. You can connect to anybody anywhere in this world through your laptops and the mobile. So that is the major reason why the attackers are going to target your laptops and the mobile. So what do we do to stop them from attacking you? The first one is always we need to ensure that we activate two-factor authentication. That means you have a strong password, and then also activate a OTP on your mobile device. So even if they get to know your password and they're able to hack any of your applications, but they won't be able to get in without an OTP on your mobile device. And most oftenly, all of us do is we use the same passwords everywhere. So that's a big no-no. You always have to set different passwords for different applications that you're going to use, and it has to be very strong, including alphanumeric and with the symbols. And also, we should not use any unknown networks, Wi-Fi, and public computers to share your sensitive data, such as your credit card information or banking information, or you're sending your health records. So until and unless it's secured, please do not use do not send any of these information through your Gmail account too. And also, we should not open any unknown links, specifically ones which talks about the rewards. We get it every day on your email, right? So there is Amazon delivery, or there is a reward points for you. So until and unless you are a member of a particular organization, please do not click on those links. So it's just one single click. That's all the hackers want you to do. And we always have to update our laptops and applications. because whenever you get an update, the company is trying to update that with the security patches, any application. That means they know that already whatever is existing that is prone by the hackers to hack. So that's the reason they're continuously updating it with the newest security patches which are available. Also, we have to clear our history, cache, and cookies at regular intervals. And also, it's not essential to share all your information on the social media from morning to evening, A to Z, what you are going to do. So we always have to restrict what is the information that you're going to share on social media so that nobody can guess your passwords based on your behavior. That, yeah, A is that. That's what it does. So it's going to track whatever you are doing, your habits, and then it is going to set a password for your account. As I told earlier, we should not provide any sensitive and personal information over online or telephone unless it is a secured line, because your banks or your credit card companies or your healthcare providers are never going to ask you any details over the telephone lines. So the next aspect that I will discuss is on the cloud infrastructure and distributed enterprises. So there will be going to be a thrust on the cloud migrations from the on-premises infrastructure. One is because on-prem infrastructure is going to be costly and it's not reliable and not scalable. So most of the organizations are going to move to public, private, or the hybrid cloud. So public cloud is provided by Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and the Amazon Web Services. Along with that, most the bigger organizations such as, let's say, multinational organizations like Target and some of the other retail outlets, they want to have their own private cloud existence. So we can see this trend going on because companies may not rely completely on the public servers, and they may have a hybrid structure with public and their own cloud integrations. And also the cloud can provide a lifeline to companies because most of the organizations are distributed enterprises today. They don't operate from one location. They will have multiple locations and remote workers. This is going to stay for the next decade to come because it's proven during the pandemic that you do not have to have physically people sitting in your office to do the work. They can be anywhere and they can continue to do the same operations and same excellence that they were doing before. So this helps for the organization to manage their remote workers, remote operations, and definitely connecting better with the customers with the use of the cloud applications. And this will also, the migration to the cloud is also going to provide a better customer experience with continuous integration and continuous delivery. Also, it is going to be efficient budget with the streamlined IT infrastructure for the organizations, because the IT budgets are the highest in any organization, and they're not going to spend every year to streamline the IT infrastructure. So if you're on the cloud, your processes are going to be simpler, you're easily scalable to meet the shifting market demands. So that is going to stay. That means that the cloud migrations and then the companies moving to migrating to the cloud is going to stay for the decades to come. So these are the three aspects that would, I say that these are going to stay in the next decades to come when we talk about the digital transformation. So over to Professor Satya for comments, and hope I didn't run out of the time.
Dr. Priyanka, really you have enlightened us many of the finer points today which we are missing otherwise. Especially you spoke about 7.5 billion to 4.2 half of the world internet users, and the other one is users experience and the dangers that they face. And you have also covered average person, how much time he spends, and also 80% of his time is spent on internet. And we have been watching that it's happening to all of us. Certainly it's a global phenomena, no doubt in it. And you have also given a very good thought. Your onus on cybersecurity was really thrilling. We are delighted. I am delighted, certainly, to hear some of these which we are not knowledgeable at times, though we may be educated, we are in the thick of digital things happening around us, but yet certainly we miss some opportunities to understand all these things. It was really well taken by all of us, and I'm sure my co-panelist will agree with me. But certainly we will have some interaction in the course of time. The moment we finish, Mr. Deepak and also our friend from South Korea, and who is in USA now, who is going to present, and later on we will have some chat and discussion. But meanwhile,
Yes, definitely.
yeah, just let me point out one thing that certainly I already spoke to you, I think. There are some of the things that we are missing today is this open, students, for example, even young people, even old people for that, using public Wi-Fi, which you have mentioned very clearly how dangerous it is. And, passwords and even sometimes router, and also, hacking business, you have explained very nicely, because many of us, despite knowing all these things, we do mistake on day-to-day basis, especially passwords. I hope this will enlighten the distinguished audience here to take some of the best things from your side. I hope they will have some questions to you later on. Thank
Definitely,
you.
sir. I'm looking forward to questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Priyanka. And now it's over to Mr. Deepak.
Thank you, Mrs. Professor Satya. That was a great presentation, Dr. Priya. Thank you for that. Can you guys, you're able to hear me? Let me try to share presentation. Entire screen. Yes. Okay, that's the wrong screen. Let me see. Okay, that's better. I think you guys are able to see my screen, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. I know Dr. Ganesh Kumar already gave a good keynote summary on AI. Hopefully, I will be able to give a engineering perspective to it. So let's start with what is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is a system that can map input to output. So that is given a data, it can transform it into a actionable output. I have jotted down a few examples here. For example, you give a speech data. Speech is something that I work on a daily basis. The AI system is able to transcribe it into text. Another topic that I work on that we research on is translating. So given a French, a text in French, you translate it to, the AI system is able to map it to a text in English. Of course, there are applications in image where, given an image, you detect a person. The more lucrative product that is on the market right now, which is you give an advertisement and user info. The system will predict whether the user will click that ad. So how does these AI systems learn to map from input to output? There are a couple of prominent algorithms that we use. Actually, mainly we use deep learning, which is a which is a branch of machine learning that statistically models patterns in data. Deep learning is you might have heard is a jargon used in AI, which basically refers to deep neural networks. I don't want to go deep into that. There are many ways to train these algorithms. I'll state the three prominent ones. The most used learning method is called supervised learning. It learns where you already have an input and output data mapped. So majority of the current applications use this. Unsupervised is when you don't have any labeled data. This is the data that's vastly available. But there is very little that we can do with this. But it is used for many of the subtasks that we perform during learning, like clustering data and use for visualization or embeddings. There is also reinforcement learning that is used prominently in robotics and gaming. It's a reward-based learning. It learns where the robots learn by making mistakes, and they get a reward if they succeed in a task. So over the past decade, this is AI systems have grown significantly. And this is a graph that I took from Professor Andrews' presentation. He's one of the prominent researchers in the field. Here you can see the data on the x-axis and for AI system performance on the y-axis. Just to summarize this graph, deep learning models leverage big data, data that we have right now due to social media and, of course, the internet. Past few decades. Deep learning models leverage big data better than traditional models. And the current improved compute capability of the GPUs have enabled us to leverage this deep learning models, and this has flourished the growth of AI. And of course, what is the role of this of data in building this? It's absolutely vital. As you saw in the previous graph, the more data you get, the better the AI system gets. So it creates the initial product launch problem where you may not have enough data. Because you need users to generate more data. So sometimes you can see companies release products with the sole purpose of collecting data. So you can have a initial small amount of data and make a product or AI system and release the product or release an app, and then which establishes more user base. And those users generate more data, and you are able to improve your AI system further. This is a good reinforcement cycle that AI systems have, and that is why it flourishes it has over the past decade because of the amount of data that we are able to collect. Of course, AI is not just transformed software industry. It's transforming business in various sectors. In healthcare, you have health monitoring systems like wearables. It can monitor a person's vitals, and it can generate reports that you can send that the doctor can review. Sentiment analysis is another application that companies can use to analyze customer sentiment based on the views, and they can improve the product based on the feedback that they get. Fraud detection is a major application in financial companies. E-commerce use to recommend products that the users can purchase next, of course. Of course, with all the benefits that AI has generated. We as AI product developers have to be responsible of how we take the system. A couple of issues that I wanted to discuss here is one is fairness and bias. There is bias in real world, and because of that, the data gets biased. And sometimes when ML models learn these biased data, it can amplify problems. What I mean by that is, for example, if you have a job matching system and if it automatically matches based on the previous data, it may favor a specific gender for certain jobs, like only females for nurses, or it may prefer males for engineers, things like that. So it is a harder. This is a active area of research. It's a very hard problem to solve because there is no true standard of fairness, even if humans were making decisions. And of course, it's much harder when that propagates into ML systems. When we build AI systems, of course, we have to check the biases in the data and fix it, of course, before it becomes a widespread problem in your product. Of course, privacy and security is going to be a big issue. You're dealing with data here, and sometimes sensitive data like medical history of a person. Of course, organizations should follow all the security protocols to protect the data. Also, when you train an ML model, you have to be careful that you don't reveal the past data that the user, that the model has been trained on when you receive new data and doing predictions. That is one thing. And on the security end, of course, it should be robust enough to be able to handle adversarial data, which is fake data or hacking. Generally, security attacks against AI systems are rare. However, it is just another software system. So malicious attacks are possible, and it should be tested against those attacks. Thank you, and that's all. That is my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Arey, Deepak Saab, you have mesmerized us with all your detailed quantification covering many aspects. In fact, we heard with rapt attention from Mr. Ganesh Kumar. What really I saw further here is you have carried on how does AI system really learn. Okay, then growth of artificial intelligence in the last decade with all data you gave, and role of data in building AI system, and also AI application and fraud detection, which is very vital and very relevant in these days, and the responsible artificial intelligence. It is always good that we have 3 Americans here, not one in my panel. I'm the only Indian here. Okay? Then I think Deepak Anthony, why not we just ask what Dr. Priyanka feels about this? Priyanka, can you say a few words about this? Come on, man. You unmuted it is. You unmute.
Yeah. So, what angle are you talking about this?
Yeah, what do you feel? There is similarities between what Ganesh Kumar said. That was a theoretical aspects. But the way, Mr. Deepak Anthony explained, quantifying each and everything and what is relevant today in artificial intelligence and machine learning, it is something that we should ponder over, and few talks by you also helps us. What do you think? How it was?
See, data was always existed. It's not that today we talk about data, analytics, information, artificial learning. So, but it always existed. For example, that data analytics came into existence because the agriculture scientists in US wanted to analyze how crop and the insects are going to behave. That's where we got all this data analytics that we talk about today. But how much data an organization has to process and what is the extent? For example, if you live in a country like the US, people do not want to for example, they're very personally oriented people. They do not want to give out any information to anybody who doesn't matter to them. So, but if you look at other countries, people just don't care. They're just going to give data. Data is everywhere. And just companies are just harnessing this and making people vulnerable. That's what I feel. I mean, it's good if it is used. For example, if you're using in a medical field to treat a disease which is very rare, definitely that is going to help the mankind. But if the organization is going to take that as a weapon to do against the humankind, I don't think this data analytics and the artificial intelligence are going to go anywhere. But there is a pros and cons for both. If the advantages are more, then definitely usage of the data is good. But if it is going to be harmful for the humankind, I don't support this learning from the data and then taking it beyond from there. So that's what I tell. That's what Deepak mentioned, that it has to be responsible AI, right? So you cannot share the healthcare data or people's emotion data and just play with it. Yeah.
Thank you, Priyanka. Very well said. Very fine critical view by you. And Mr. Deepak, thank you so much. It was really a wonderful experience to all of us. And we enjoyed really, and we learned many things from your side. As analyzed by Priyanka, there are certain loopholes also, no doubt in it. But how we appreciate is our perception. And as we move on, there will be some question and answers or anything. So let's stay on. And now, once again, thank you, Deepak. And it's over to now my friend, Mr. Ji Ho Yu. Over to you.
Namaste. Hello, everyone. आप सब कैसे हैं? Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for inviting me to International Digital Business Innovation Conference. I would like to express my gratitude to the panelists and audience and the member of Ebenezer groups. Bohat, Skria. My name is Ji-hoon Yu. I'm Korean by birth. I'm currently learning a gold business in Miami, US. First of all, let me declare, I'm not an expert in digital business transformations, the subject of today's conference. So I would like to leave that to the academicians and experts. Yeah. The things that I want to tell you maybe a little bit more about my experience and business, or maybe I can tell how I see today's topic of discussions is affecting our lives. But before that, let me take you all to the flashback to tell you something from where everything begins. I studied BBM in CML in Bangalore 20 years ago and spent about 5 years in India. As I didn't know a single English, I literally struggled at the beginning, but fortunately, I met some good friends like Pankaj Loy, the executive director of Ebenezer's, who has always encouraged me and guided me to adjust with India. During my stay, I realized why Indians are admired in the whole world for their hospitality and kindness. During my stay, I experienced various amazing facts about India, and till today, I cherish those memories. I am feeling nostalgic today being a part of a conference that is happening, in the same place where I spent many years. My experience in Bangalore has helped me plan the life I want to live. Based on my valuable experience in India, I returned to Korea and started working in trade. About 10 years ago, I established a company specializing in gold items and traded in India and the United States. As the time passed, business started to growing, and then I had to move to United States 7 years ago. And I started the next phase of my life. I worked very hard, faced my challenges, and finally, today I made my identity as a gold merchant in US. Although it is a small company, the yearly turnover is around 90 crores, and it's just to recognize in the industry. Now, let me give you a little insight of my business. The jewelry industry in the United States is actually very conservative and doesn't take advantage of many innovative digital methods. As you know, we deal with extremely sensitive and costly products. There is less opportunity of anything that is virtual. Everything should happen in the front of your eyes, and you should be able to satisfy your 5 organs only and then this business happen. However, software in designing parts, 3D printer in production parts, and e-commerce using SC, such as like Amazon in sales parts, celebrity marketing using Instagram and Facebook. These new technologies are being applied to the market in this usual way. Companies that actively use those methods have actually been given more opportunity to expand their markets. Since the United States is divided into several states and a large land mass like India, it is very important to utilize the online market to target their wide markets. New technologies from various new sources such as blockchains, artificial intelligence, and deep learning cannot be applied to all this industry, I believe. I would like to emphasize that by listening to taking advantage of new changes, introduced in the world, you will be given more opportunity than your competitors. First of all, I think it is important to apply the above digital innovations. But at the same time, I think the basics are most important for the business. Let me talk a bit about business. Even someone like me, who could not able to speak even single word of English at the time, 20 years ago, today, living in a place like Miami and doing a most sophisticated business with these hardcore English-speaking people. My experience in India and my constant curiosity is always driving me forward, and I am always challenging myself to become a better person than what I am today. By setting a goal and repeating it, I'm aiming for a bigger dream in my current position. Business cannot always be successful. We face constant difficulties, such as what to start, how to do it, and how to respond when problem arises. I would like to say that the most powerful force is goal orientations. A strong goal you want has the power to overcome difficulties. Even if you fail 7 times, get up 8 times, and try again. The bigger your goal, greater your strength to overcome difficulties. There is saying in Korea that thoughts change actions, action change your habit change your life. It doesn't matter where you're from, whether you have money in your house or not. Think deeply about what you really want and set a goal that you want to achieve, then write down the piece of paper. That's very important. And put it where you can see every day. This really makes you come true. I can dare tell you, obviously it will happen. I'm assuring that it is possible with experience. The life I had planned in India like 20 years ago, now I'm being realizing here. I wish to infinite possibility for your future and your youth. Yeah, thank you for your patience and listening to me. आप सब क्या बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Very, very,
Oh my
very.
God.
Yeah, it was Mr. Ji Huyu. Something
All right.
interesting you have added. Otherwise, the subject is such, the title is such that not all are competent today anywhere in the world. But,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not kind of. Yeah.
it all depends on the domain that they practice, and naturally we learn something from you. Not like that. How to sell gold through online? Very interesting. With 50 states in the United States of America, and
Yeah.
looking how each, you have a cosmopolitan culture, you have different ways, and you are exploring how you can sell gold even online. When vegetable can be sold online, why not gold? That happens. That is what innovation all about.
Yeah,
And
yes, right.
thank you very much, really, for the participation. Absolutely, your autobiography. It was actually you cherished the memories having stayed in Bangalore, and you did
Yes, sir.
mention that Indians are very hospitable people. We are grateful to you, and
Thank you so
we
much.
love to be like that forever. Okay,
Thank
and
you.
thank you once again. And few words from Deepak so that we can move on to the next platform. Yes, Deepak, what do you feel, about this gold being sold online?
No, absolutely. It's internet. Selling things online is the way to go, I would say. I mean, especially in this for the past 2 years due to pandemic, I guess. Online retailing is what
Booming.
most of the booming. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah, Priyanka, last words from you on gold. Which you like so much. I know you are a woman.
Yeah, I can ask Jihu to come to West Coast, San Francisco Bay Area, because a lot of Indians live here.
Oh
and
yeah, once a lot of times everywhere.
probably we should expand from Miami to here. So that would be a nice decision.
Got it. Thank you,
Thank you. And then in terms of the online business, yes, if you're not online, any business is not going to exist for a long term. So that's what we have seen in the last 2 years. If you look at markets anywhere, whether it's in the US or in India, or companies, like, they have become very efficient in terms of online delivery and online order processing. There is a lot of emphasis which is given on the supply chain. We do have supply chain issues today too, but still they are trying to manage supply chain issues with the blockchain technology and other technology-aided methods. And it's not that only the retailers, for example, the Amazon is competent in terms of the online marketing, but every other company is trying to do the same thing. Even the smaller niche companies are trying to be on the social media, trying to be becoming efficient in terms of the supply chain and to be in the online business. Yeah.
Thank you, fellow panelists. It's a
sir.
great that we have chat, and going forward, we are going to the next item of the agenda. I think we have presentation lined up, paper presentations lined up now, and over to moderator. Let's move to next program.
The bird machine. Check.
Christmas weaves a magic wand over this world. Behold, everything is softer and more beautiful. Happy Christmas.
Check.
There is no you and me on Christmas Day. It's just us. Merry Christmas. day. I wish you wonderful days filled with smile and laughter. Merry Christmas.
Thank you all the panelists. We really appreciate your contribution. Three of you, Dr. Priyanka Krishnamurthy, Mr. Deepak A, Mr. Ji Hoon Yu, you all are attending from US, and I really appreciate your staying up late in the morning, late in the night there, and appreciate your contribution. Thank you once again.
I am Sachidanand Jaiswal, first year BBA, Ebenezer Management College. Good afternoon, one and all. We have come to the most exciting session of the conference now. We will have different scholars presenting their papers. I request Dr. Rupa KV, Assistant Professor, Jain University, to do the presentation.
Shopping, impulsive fashion and apparel buying behavior. So basically, I'll be analyzing what factors actually motivate online consumers to buy fashion and apparel without having any need to buy. So how is that impulsive nature created among individuals so that they buy without planning? So let's see what my paper talks about. So here goes the structure of my presentation, that is abstract, and then I'll be giving introduction about my topic and the review of literature, what is my research objectives and about the questionnaire, and then the research methodology which has been adopted, and what tools have been analyzed, what data have been analyzed using different tools, and what is the conclusion about my study and from where I've taken the references. So before moving on to the topic, that is one-stop shopping, impulsive fashion and apparel buying behavior. So let me give an introduction about my study. So we all know how digitalization has changed and transformed the entire brick and mortar fashion industry and the way we shop these days. So I have taken respondents of almost 256 respondents, and I've collected the data from these samples, and then I've used a judgmental sample to analyze what factors motivate them, what is their satisfaction level, and which is the major factor which influence them to buy any products, especially fashion online. Okay? So I have used a factor analysis and multiple regression to do my study. So coming to my keywords, so it's about YAMI. So what's YAMI? The young, aspirational, mobile, native, impulsive action. That is the millennials who usually shop the most online, and then they buy their products to satisfy their needs. So moving on to the introduction of my topic, as my topic states about one-tap shopping and impulsive buying. What do you mean by impulsive buying? As a consumer, many a times we tend to shop certain items without planning because of that impulse, which is actually created by these digital marketers. Okay. So how these marketers tap this impulsive buying behavior? Coming to introduction about, in general, about internet usage and what kind of products are being purchased most in India. So I thought, let me give an introduction about my topic with these insights, which I've taken from the Digital India report of 2020-22. So according to this report, when we look into the population of India, that is 1.4 billion, okay, and then how many of them are connected through cellular or mobile connections? Almost 81% of our population is connected with the mobile connections. What about internet users? So we have almost 47% of our internet users in India, which accounts to 658 million. And we also have around 467 million population using active being active in social media. And then talking about the digital growth year on year, what is the percentage change in the total population? It's almost 1% when compared to last year. And then there is almost 5% increase in the internet users and almost 4% increase in the active social media users. And then talking about the median age of India. So the median age of India is 29, which means majority of the Indian population belong to this age group of 29 years, which is millennial generation. And talking about the female and male population, yes, India is a male-dominated society with almost 52% of male population and female population of almost 48%. And then moving on to the device ownership, what device do they use actually to what device do they use to access internet? Okay, almost among the internet users, 96% of them usually access internet to mobile phone, and then 96 again use smartphones, and then laptop is just 56%, and tab is almost 23%. And then moving on to search engine market share. So you all know that Google has the highest market share in terms of search engine in India with approximate of 98.75%. And then moving on to the most visited website, according to SEMrush ranking, Google followed by Facebook and then YouTube. Okay, and then social media users over the time. So compared to last year, as I said, almost a 4% increase in the social media usage in India. And the most used social media platform is WhatsApp, followed by Instagram and Facebook. And then what about weekly shopping activities in India? According to the study, among the internet users, 62% of them who use internet usually purchase a product or service weekly once. And among the users of internet, 34% of internet users usually orders groceries these days. And 17.3% have actually bought a second-hand item online. Okay. And 29% of them have actually used an online price comparison services to buy products. And then moving on to e-commerce consumer goods category. Okay, coming to fashion, it's almost 16.85 billion year change and almost 43% increase when compared to last year. This year, the fashion industry has grown to almost 43.2%. Approximately addition of plus 5 billion shopping. Then we have other things like furniture, electronics, and then personal and household care, food, beverages, and physical media and toys, which is being purchased by Indian consumers online. And moving on to online food delivery platform, okay, now even the number of people ordering food online via online has also increased, which accounts to almost 282.1 million. And year on year, compared to last year, this year it has grown to 30% with plus 65 million users. Okay. And then how do individuals discover any brand before buying products online? So the major source for identifying any brand to buy online is, of course, the TV ad, which accounts to 34%, and then followed by search engine, wherein people find brands and other products by searching those brands on the search engine, followed by social media ads and other online retail stores. And then moving on to digital marketing. Okay, as I said, 51% of them usually research before buying any product online. Okay, and then they visit the brand's website before 30 days, they add their product into their cart, they analyze it with all the other, and then they compare the prices in all other platforms, and then finally make their purchase. Okay, and then the digital advertising market, if we also look into the digital advertising market, as major digital marketers usually earn revenue through their advertisements, including Facebook. So almost 2.71 billion total change in the year-on-year advertising market when we look into. And then moving on to e-commerce sales by country. So India ranks 8th. Okay, India has moved to 8th position from e-commerce with a revenue of almost 63 billion in 2021. Even during pandemic, that is COVID-19 pandemic, and COVID-19, India has also seen a light increase in their e-commerce sales with approximately 5 to 6% increase in sales. Okay. So China ranks first in terms of e-commerce sales, followed by US, UK, Japan, Korea, Germany, France, and then India ranks 8th. And moving on to my topic, so to analyze what factors actually influence these young millennials who shop online, and then to know their satisfaction level, I have reviewed almost 8 to 9 articles to write this paper. So I've given the review of only 5 papers in my presentation, wherein one of the paper just says that website interactivity. So these days we always find this interactivity among the website and individual who is buying the products online. So this has motivated them to buy products online and to clear all their doubts regarding the product. And then other thing is, as we know, the peer-to-peer word of mouth or electronic word of mouth advertisements and internet has actually played. And then moving to fashion, people want to buy or innovate new things, which is in the market. That has actually influenced people to go for online shopping, especially with the fashion. And then if we have observed with Nykaa, the growth of Nykaa right from the way they stepped in from 2012, and then how Nykaa from beauty, that is BPC industry, beauty and personal care industry, and significantly how it has moved to even fashion industry, and then catering the needs of consumers who want to buy products online, especially the fashion segment. Okay. And apart from this, other factors which actually motivate youngsters to buy products without having a need to buy, just through the impulse which is created. So the return policy, the trial rate of completely, or even including your Carrot Line or any other companies which usually give free trial in their house, has also motivated people to buy products online. Okay? And including that, other factors which has motivated is obviously the social media and the connection and the interaction. And then moving on to my research objectives of the study, as I told, the 3 main objectives of my study is to understand the behavior displayed while shopping fashion and apparel online, and then to explore what factors actually influence them to buy products which they never thought they would buy, only after that impulse is created. And what about their satisfaction level after buying the product, especially in fashion and apparel segment? So these are my 3 research objectives of the study. As I told, I've taken almost 256 respondents across India and especially Karnataka, and then I've used a convenient and judgmental sampling, and then constructed questionnaire. I've almost used 67 variables. Entire thing was analyzed using a 5-point Likert scale, and as I said, I've used descriptive statistics, which is percentage and average and ranking. And apart from that, I've also included exploratory factor analysis, and I've rotated this component matrix, and I've also used multiple regression to find out which factor has actually influenced the most among all the factors which are grouped. Coming on to the Cronbach alpha, as we know that if it is more than 9%, it actually depicts more internal consistency between the variables. So after analyzing all the 67 variables, I've got Cronbach alpha of almost 0.94. And looking into my data analysis and result, which is completely descriptive, in my study also, majority of them who purchased fashion is actually male, not female. And then coming to age group of almost 21 to 40 years have actually purchased more fashion and apparel online. And then students of this age, and then obviously when they're shopping, they're usually the dependent income through which they're shopping their products online. And the frequency of shopping, when we look into the frequency, everybody have usually bought fashion or apparel at least once in a month, and the amount which they have spent is approximately from 1,000 to 2,000 rupees. Okay, this is my descriptive data analysis of that. And then coming to on fashion behavior. So what is that behavior which they usually implement before buying any product? Saw that in our statistics. The same goes with my paper also. After analyzing, most of them do search apparel usually with search engines. Okay, and then when they are bored and then when they do have free time, they log into all these devices and applications to buy the product. And the other factor which actually motivates them is the fashion change agents. in the pop-up ads or the Facebook updates if they're following, and the reviews and the pictures and videos of individuals who have actually bought the product and uploaded them on the website. And then looking into the reviews, they usually go for buying such products. So by analyzing all these factors and then rotating this factors, almost 23 factors, I have grouped these 23 factors into 4 factors after rotating it and then extracting the variables. Okay. So after rotating the component matrix with 23 items, I have got almost 5 factors, and the 5 factors can be grouped into price sensitivity factors, website artistry factors, the social media adoption factors, and strategic factors and divergent factors. So all these 5 factors actually influence any customer to buy product online, especially the fashion and apparel. So coming to the first factor, that is price sensitive factors, it explains almost 40% of variance, and website artistry, it almost explain 12% of variance. And then the third factor, which is social media adoption, which has influenced them to buy, it explains only 6.5% of variance. Okay. And then strategic factors are like deals for the day products, and then reviews and ratings by customers. And the divergent factors, okay, which has almost 4.69% of variance, which is the videos of the products which is being displayed, and the inbox mails which we get regarding the products, if at all we have added that into our cart. So after analyzing all these 5 factors, okay, when multiple regression was carried out, so we can see that price sensitive factors has the highest impact with almost 16.1 variance, which means that among all these factors, so price sensitivity factors is the major factors which influence consumers to go for impulsive fashion buying when compared to website or social media factors or strategic factors or divergent factors. And moving on to my third objective, which talks about the satisfaction level of consumers while shopping their product online. So majority of them are satisfied with their products. They feel that, okay, the product which they've got and the product which they actually ordered are same as per the description of the website. Okay, and they're satisfied with the packaging style. And one of the other factors is on-time delivery and easy return and refund, and user-friendly application also has an impact on buying products online. The complete product description also, and then easy procedure for placing their order, and they're satisfied with the quality also, and the secure online payments. So these are my results of the study to understand the satisfaction level of consumers. And then moving on to conclusion of the study, as we all know that the digital age is, I mean, the millennial age is the median age of India. So they have dominated the market in terms of internet and then usage and also shopping. And then the big 4 elements which usually marketers use is artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented reality, and then the virtual reality. So that organizations can actually, and many of them have also implemented this augmented reality, right from IKEA and other, okay, even including Lenskart, where they want to create a 3D picture of consumers before buying, and they want to know how exactly the product looks like before buying these online. Okay, so these strategies, that is the big 4 strategies, have been mainly adopted by all the e-marketers so that they can boost their sales. And moving forward, what are the other trends which we can see these days, that is online to offline, wherein marketers want to create an omni-channel and they want to connect with consumers throughout. So they're creating an omni-channel space wherein right from Nika and then Lenskart, okay, and furniture retail outlets, they start from online and then they're going for offline stores where consumers can actually come and experience the product and then order it through online. This has actually increased their sales and boosted the sales of e-commerce industry as well. So these are the new trends which we can see in online, wherein e-commerce companies are adopting all these 4 strategies so that they can increase their sales. So among all the factors, with my study, price sensitivity factors has actually increased and given more weightage to buy any products online. That is discounts, or it can be a BOGO offer. Or when we look into Nykaa, they have their Pink Friday sales, like Black Friday sales, which have actually boosted their sales. So yes, obviously, price, as we know, Indian consumers are price sensitive, and before buying any product, they look into price and other factors. So, among all the factors, price is the major factor which they consider, okay, to buy products online so that it can satisfy their needs. So, this is all about my study and the references which I have taken.
Dr. Rupa, it was a wonderful experience for all of us. The trends today, especially fashion, was very interesting. And you did say about Nykaa and Myntra. I did experience just now. I am getting every day a courier, and my daughter-in-law has booked in Canada for a marriage here. And very interesting details you have given. You have covered almost everything, every brand. And fashion today is not only for women, even for men. So it has become a rage today online, and your experience and your knowledge has helped us a lot to understand. I'm sure a lot of audience would have enjoyed. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Sir.
Dr. Rupa.
Thank you, everyone.
Sir, Satya sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. M. Govindraj, Associate Professor, CMS Business School, to present the paper.
Afternoon. Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Slides is visible. Kindly continue.
Okay. Good afternoon to one and all. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. I was told, and I have seen in the agenda also, only 5 minutes been given to all the paper presenters. So accordingly, I have just, in a nutshell only, I have prepared my slides. Right? Okay.
So, okay, go ahead, sir. Good, sir,
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Is it visible now? Yeah. I'm sorry?
Sir, not visible. Not visible, sir.
Just a minute. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, now? So is it visible? Yeah. The title what I have taken is an analysis on how to turn the tide towards the business interests using local festivals and other events with special reference to South India. So I am Govindraj. I am Associate Professor from CMS Business School, Jain deemed to be University. So the abstract. So the local festivals, the local community events, government and private sponsored exhibitions and fairs, etc. are all good opportunities to promote the Desi small businesses locally. So a recent study revealed that 44% of marketers see a 3:1 return on their event marketing investments. So local festivals and community gatherings enable businesses to connect with the local population of their own cities, small towns and villages. So the keywords are local business community, local festivals and events, advertisement, sales promotion, sponsorship. So now the introduction. So marketing communication channels have become clutter and costly nowadays, as we're all aware that most of the advertisements and sales promotion, we don't want to go through it. So only those who can spend in big numbers towards the marketing budget are in a position to reach out to the customers, and that too in a very small to some extent. So people who are releasing full page advertisements like that, only they could attract the audience. So what is the position of these MSMEs and local manufacturers? So somehow they feel that they are marginalized because they have no that much of financial might to release full page advertisement or to go for electronic advertisement formats like that. So still they can successfully reach out to the potential customers within their budget. So there only these kind of local events and local exhibitions, all these things come as a handy tool. So review of literature. So according to Arcadia Whitford, the past decades have seen growth in festivals become tourist attractions. So these have become tourist attractions and emerge as exciting sectors of the tourism industry, posing significant economic, socio-cultural and political impacts within host communities. So local festival developments increase cultural tourism and provide the tourist destination with economic and cultural benefits as per Luna. So festivals also often create a sense of belonging and pride among local residents, thus fostering the sharing of local resources and local purchases as per Julian's publication 2007. And according to Yolel et al., literature suggests that festivals foster community attachment and promote community identity and social cohesion among residents. So now we'll take it as these local festivals, how it has become a great blessings for, especially for local manufacturers and MSME segment. For nearly 60% of India's population, except in big cities, in all tier 1 and tier 2 towns and in all villages, there is no other entertainment or outing available. The only entertainment outside the homes are these types of local festivals and community events. So there comes a great opportunity waiting for the local manufacturers, small and medium business players. So not only that, these type of local events and exhibitions like that, it attracts all segments of the community. So local population will themselves be the co-producers of these events or festivals in most of the time. So when they become the co-producers, so definitely the attachment will be much more. So local festivals reflects the culture because it is deeply rooted with the people for centuries together. As we are all well aware that even the freedom fighters made use of these local festivals to unite all the local people and to propagate the nationalism. So the discussion about how to align the business to the local events. So these are all some of the ways like that of targeting the festival, sponsorships, promoting the events, and ultimately collect the data, which may be useful for us. So various types of local festivals, the avenues for business community, these are all, it is pertaining only to South India. So there is a festival called as Chitrai, which attracts nearly lakhs of people, right? Like that of Jallikattu is, it is very famous in Tamil Nadu. And temple car festivals and annual temple festivals and other temple festivals. Because if you see in every small towns or tier 2 towns or tier 3 towns, always there will be some sort of temple festivals. So how we can make use of these type of temple festivals? Then Padayatras. Nowadays political parties Padayatras have become so, what we can say that it started attracting nationwide interest like that. But it is not the political parties Padayatra like that, but it is something related with religious, that what we can say that religious Padayatra. Then the Kachati boat festival, we are all well aware that it attracts millions of people, right? Then the Magaravalaka and Mandalavalaka and that annual Sabarimala Sri Ayyappa Swami festivals. As I have seen that the corporate hospitals like Apollo hospitals, they make use of these kind of Magaravalaka and Mandalavalaka season festivals, especially in Sabarimala. They used to have their, what we can say that, that medical camp for the devotees, something like that. So there is no doubt that when corporate hospitals like that of Apollo Group make use of these kind of local events and festivals like that, why not MSME segment? So modes of reaching out to the customers through local festivals, as we are all well aware that wall painting, though it is a traditional media, still it attracts. Then posters, flex boards, handbills, sandwich man, sky balloons, medical camps by corporate hospitals, providing these kind of holy sashes like that, and other philanthropic measures. And these local sales promotional activities, which really gives 3:1 returns, which is something great for the MSME segment, right? Then the benefits for the business community, it is much more economical, where the MSME segment cannot compete with the giants, with electronic format advertisements or all other full page advertisements like that. So it is very easy to reach, because as I already said, these kind of local festivals are being co-produced by the community people themselves. So it is very easy to reach out to them. And also it is a niche marketing like that, where the giants may not be that much interested. And certainly there is no doubt that it will give long-term relationship. You can have a long-term relationship with the community. And it is a very rich source of information, right? And the encouragement for local vendors is much, much more by way of getting an opportunity to participate in such kind of local events. And the conclusion that decide upon your target audience before anything else, right? This is the segmentation. Make a list of details, everything including the lighting, transportation, refreshments, because if you plan properly, you can definitely get good mileage out of it. Have a clear business purpose for holding the event, right? Be flexible with changes in. You need a detailed marketing plan, that is a size, location, and other details, right? Define good reasons for people to show up. At least you should be in a position to attract the local community towards what you have been there, or what purpose you have been there. So the attraction must be there in such a way that people should come voluntarily to see and get experienced of. Learn how to talk to the media. This is something, an art, I will say, because it will give some sort of free publicity or like the public relations. Use Twitter hashtags and Instagram hashtags. Use YouTube to promote your event, because it is a very cheap media nowadays. Each and every one can start using that. Then create an awesome low budget promotional video. Definitely it will supplement all other promotional activities, right? And offer local partners incentives to promote you and give early bird incentives. So with this, I think I have done justice for the time allotted for me.
Next presenter, please. Mr. Srinivas.
Yes. Share. If the host allow me to share the screen, I can share. If the host allow me to.
Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Srinivas and Associate Professor, East Point College of Management, to present the papers.
So if you allow me to share the screen, I can share the screen. I'm not getting the options of to share the screen.
What's happening? Not able to share the screen, Srinivas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Lofi. Oh yeah, hang on, Srinivas.
I'll just check. So. Okay. There's no option. Change label. Full screen. Apply the visual effects. No, sir. I just went to the settings. I could see only the whiteboard and change label full screens and apply visual effects. But I could not see the screen. Share screen.
Yeah, please present, sir. Srinivas, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. I just clicked on that optional, but I could not find the screen sharing.
Present option.
Yes, sir. Window.
Yes,
Srinivas
sir.
will do like that. We will just have the next one. By that time, we will sort out the technical problem. Okay. Yes, Mr. Lokesh.
I now request Ms. Rachel Evelyn, Research Scholar, Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai, to present the papers.
Able to do it, please present Srinivas. Why is it
Yes,
getting
yes,
late?
sir. Please go ahead, sir. No problem. No problem. Continue, Srinivas, sir.
Unmute, please. Not able.
Next.
Yes, very good afternoon, my dear panel members, teachers, and my dear students. Today I'm here to present my research paper, Emotional Intelligence. Moving on to my first slide, today's presentation is based on the dynamic of the self-management as a component of emotional intelligence with special reference to IT industries in Bangalore City. Agenda of the today's presentation is introduction to the topic, research method, finding and suggestion, and conclusion. So, introductions. What is emotional intelligence here? Today, I've taken this topic from based on this 2020 looking into the pandemic situations, how this skills employabilities, and soft skills where the employees are under the how to relieve the stress in organizations or in IT sectors. So now it seems that in 2015, the emotional intelligence not even on the list of the competency are the skills required for the IT industries. But today's scenario, if you look into it, there's emotional intelligence as rated to sixth rank, one of the most important skills competency required and to be employed in IT sector industries. Emotional intelligence, today's very hot topic to begin studied, wherein we need to understand how emotional intelligence is impacting the IT industries, their work and their performance. And moving on to this emotional intelligence model, we have four components here. One is self-awareness, self-management, relationship management, and social awareness. The topic today's presentation is self-management. Will impact the IT employees and what all the components are under the self-management. What are the things that an employee can learn in future to self-manage himself? Under the self-management, these are the followings. Under the self-management, these are the followings like problem solving, honesty, initiative, flexibility, resilience, analytical skills, communication, integrity, confidence, and productivity. This resilience is nothing but called capacity, how to overcome from the difficulties that is for the employees. So here we today things are not restricted to the management. There are a lot of theories which has come up, and that's Goldman's researcher, who's the father of the emotional intelligence, which has been coined the term, and he one of the most prominent in the field of emotional intelligence. And you can see that majority of my reviews of the literature is based on the study of the Goldman's here. So moving on to the research methods here. So one of the objectives here in self-management for the IT employee is it's skills, employabilities, soft skills, and they have to understand, the employees has to understand the empathy of an employee and how to overcome the challenges. Moving to this hypothesis, I've choose this hypothesis research. Objectives of this research is dynamic of self-management as a component of your emotional intelligence. Moving to hypothesis, there's six components which I have chosen. One is self-control, self-knowledge, work efficiency, personal advocacy, emotional expression, and self-awareness. And from this, the important tool which I've chosen is this self-control and self-knowledge. And research type which I've used is the exploratory research. Exploratory research where I've taken it from the SSPS software. Under SSPF, I've used this tool, exploratory research. Moving on to the data collections tool, questionnaire. There are three tiers of the questionnaire. The part one is about the demographic profiles, about age, the genders, and the second tier is about the work profile, where I have taken it, like I could ask them a number of hours to have worked in an employee or an academic, and I can take in industries, and the day shift or night shift or flexible time, work from home, etc. The third tier, which I have taken here, is from the Goldman Skills, and a few questions has been related from the Goldman Skills and the Likert Skills viewpoints. That is in which one, equal, strongly disagree, and five strongly agree. And moving on to this, sorry. Next is data collections, the interviews. Interviews of the technique which I've used is some of the Google Forms, WhatsApp, and I've called some of the known persons for interviewing done, and sampling populations here. What happened here is when the data collections was done through interview Google Form, some of the convenience were also taken. The convenience is nothing but called, which known people. I have taken some of the data. Moving on to the sampling here, that's probability and non-probability sampling, which I have chosen as a convenience. That is a non-probability sampling, only from the known persons or from the judgment. And then next is your determinations of the sample size here from the Coachran formula, which I have used. One of this report in 2017 The latest report, which was available from the government, says that there are 15 lakh employee in IT all alone. So I have taken 15 lakh as a population size by using the quotient formula of known population of just 10%. And next is of margins of error is, if you see here, it is 10%. But then margin of error for the sample size is 100 respondent, and sample size of ideal is 100 respondent. And hence, I distributed 140 question array. Out of that, where I got only 120 responded were received after removing some of the missing data from that final data. I used descriptive statistics and exploratory analysis using the SPSS statistical packages of the social science software, and under that, I used the exploratory software and confirmatory factors using here and master software is a small pilot study which I conducted, spoke to few academicians and asked them to look into my data and correct it. And this 95% of the confidence level and 10% of the marginal error sample size will be 100 respondent. In case if I take 99% of the confidence level and it will be 0.3 of the marginal error, the sampling size could go to 700 respondent. I've taken the social science as a human here. In case if I go for the example for mathematics or for science, it could be 99. And moving on to the pilot studies, I asked a few people to correct my data, and this is about the research methods. Moving on to the findings.
Sir, Srinivasan sir?
Yes, sir.
Srinivasan sir? Please go exactly major findings, conclusion and suggestions, sir, please.
Yes, I'm being there. So 70% of the respondents have belonged for the age of, as I told you, age demography, the first tier, 26 to 35 years of age. 51.7% are from the female and remaining is from the male. 53.3% are from the employee who are already completed the postgraduated and majorities are the graduate students. And 56.7% are employees are married and more than 80% of the employees are working students. And 45% had children. About half of the employees spend only 1 to 2 hours with their family, and three-fourths of such employees have stressful work conditions here. And only the 60% of the employees are worked between 9 to 10 hours. 73.3% of the work in the day shift. Last two topics are left over. Just I would cover up this exploratory factor analysis and the confirmatory factor analysis. Why do we conduct this factor analysis? Is to have n number of items, and we want to have to reduce the number of items and see what are the headings we can give for these items. In our study, we have used only 37 items or categories with 6 components, and you can see in the second table here where you can see that 81% are under the social study cumulative percentage. That's which of the above 60%, which could give the excellent excellent results, and hence this model is good. Since it is 81% here, 81.67 you could see here, and that is which is being used by the Camon Battle of Statistics above 0.60, and we have achieved that too here. We have achieved that also here, and moving on to the after getting the results of exploratory factors analysis here. So we try to reduce to 20 items under 6 components. Out of that, only 37 items we can see here. This SM3, SM6, and SM7. The self-control and self-knowledge and work efficiencies. Where whoever has reduced this, we do factor analysis and results in the form of the loading, where above 0.30, any items which has the factor loading, that is correlations between the items, below 0.30 will be eliminated from the studies. Looking into this confirmatory factor analysis, each component, how self-management contributing to each of the components, where the higher estimates, the greater the contribution. Moving on to the conclusion here, out of 37 items, only 34 items are the mean, where the mean value states that since we are using the lighter scales from 1 to 5, anything which comes to 1 to 5, it is strongly agreement and disagreement. And 1 to 2 mean value which comes between this 4 and 5, agreement and strongly majority of the study. Currently, the mean value of above, which is 3, which indicates the majority have responded the neutral to the agreement. Then the scope of this can be used in the many of the industries or the places. So the employees of the IT industries can also could be used this, and thank you so much.
Learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the product of the activity of the learners.
Now you are standing in the corporate world. Fight. Come down. It is there already.
Nothing ever become real till it experience.
Tell me, I may forget. Teach me, I may remember. Involve me, I may learn.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I now request Ms. Rachel Evelyn, Research Scholar, Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai, to present the paper.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Rachel, and I'm a research scholar in Vellore Institute of Technology. My topic is a study on work stress pertaining to remote working during COVID-19 and its impact on employee attrition in information technology sector, with special reference to Chennai. Actually, this study was made during September to December, because that is the peak when I found out that attrition is heading to like more than 25% in most of the IT companies, and especially in Cognizant, in TCS and Infosys. Infosys, it was around like 22%. So I just wanted to find out why, and because it's the very initial stages of my research, so I thought this will be useful for my for the thesis. So my primary objective was to find out the impact of stresses on attrition. So my secondary objective was the push and pull factors. The push and pull factors were mainly like, push factors is like, why do they end up leaving the job? Or pull factors is how they leave because of good opportunities outside where the stress is limited, like startup companies where even if the pay is less, they move on to different companies. And how negatively or positively stress drives the employee. The negative stress, it leads to health issues. Positive stress, they either work very hard and try to come up and try to shine, or in the present company or the future company. So that is how it negatively or positively drives. So that is my primary objective. So this is my literature review. From my literature review, I found that the work-life balance is terribly affected because of remote working during COVID. And there are a lot of stresses which I've discussed in the next slide. So this is the general model of stress. So I particularly I emphasize on physiological, behavioral, and emotional. So physiological is like they work a lot of hours, and behave they get to and positive decision of moving out. So process I applied, and the factors I found out that because I'm these are the that remote working. So some of the employees and they are not able to take the work. The work that becomes more stressful for them. Then limited access to training. Most of the training has become virtual, and some of them they have adaptation challenges which they are able to understand, because as far as I found, employees have adaptation. Uh, they have limited training. They are not able to do what they're being and it increases the stress. And this particular season has completely stopped the growth of employees, making them satisfaction and level. So when you are home, it's not easy to, because people are big home and in very tight families there, and it leads to irritation. And then like, because they're at work 14 hours in a day, which is getting very stressful for them. And the payment seems the same even if they work for extra hours. So that causes stress and many adaptive challenges. Because everybody now culture is becoming work from home, which some people say like 47% are okay with it, the others are not. So I would say majority are not with working from home. So next, what I used research methodology was snowballing. So because I try to have contact from people, known sources, and they led me to a few people. So my sample size 250. They were in and around Chennai, and it was from 5 organizations in Chennai. And it both closed-ended and open-ended questionnaire. And the secondary information was from journals and books. So this is my research methodology, and the statistical tools used was correlation. So I found out that there is positive and very strong correlation between stress and lack of training and understanding new working methods. So and I also did regression. There is disruption in work-life balance, and that creates turnover intention. So the slope is negative in this case. And I use chi-square. And in chi-square, there is relationship between age and adaptation challenges. And like I've given in the paper, I've given the calculations to prove it. And I use one-way ANOVA, and to state the fact there is relationship between stresses and turnover intention. So this is my one-way ANOVA calculation, and the table value is more than the calculated value. So there is relationship. I've proved it, and this is my findings. The findings is most of them are female, and mostly, as far as I know, female employees are prone to stress because they keep looking after their families and also work. It's become very stressful for them being at home. And most of the employees were between the age 25 to 35, and they earned about 60,000. And some 15% of the employees said they work for both Indian timings and US timings, which was very stressful. They lack sleep, and the health issues like they sugar having, and even when they're eating, and even now they and which is the kind of they had they're developing headaches and migraines, depression and insomnia due to stress, and stress is related to heavy workload. And adaptation challenges. But also indicated that families with children and married people and it's completely if the relationship for them to work in that organization, so they want to leave, and they are unable to handle pressure, which is and also even if the company pays them for getting a very comfortable place to sit in and work and all the furniture and all that, even then they're unable to work due to the impact of stress. So, and my suggestion is employees need rotational shifts. If they're working in one shift, they may rest in another shift. So that was my suggestion, and communication from supervisors, whatever they want exactly heard that saying that I don't want any backlog. I don't want any backlog. We what patients are going, like how long they are working. There are it comes to that kind of situation. So I don't think seniors should act, or the manager should, the supervisor or the manager shouldn't act like that, because I know there is pressure on the manager also, but they can handle the human resource more smoothly, I guess. And they have to have a balance in their work life, and they must take precaution that that work doesn't affect their personal life. So these are the suggestions, and I would like to conclude that, as I told you earlier, it is a very short study, so I wasn't able to really get that depth of it, because the IT population in India, it's like really high. So I don't think 250 samples would be enough to to come to a conclusion or generalize what the effects are. And also, not only 5 companies, I got to.
Minutes, you please complete now.
Okay. I hope my screen is visible, sir.
Yes.
And belongs to Department Information Technology, pursuing second degree in Rathinam College of Arts and Science in Coimbatore. So without much ado, let me introduce my topic: marketing management, nothing but the social media marketing. So generally, we all know what is social media marketing. So social media, it comes like different platforms like WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and etc. And marketing, that is the product marketing. And we can use this social media platform for our marketing purpose. So like we have different platforms where we can use those platforms and use our product to market in different places, like we can make peoples to buy in confidence level. So it also includes the current and potential customers. Potential customers is that the customer who buys the product, like it doesn't buy the product. The potential customer is that who doesn't buy the product, and the current and potential employee is the one who is under the leadership quality, like under a single organization where the business, other business or more business will come for it. And also we have different content and context hashtags in everything. So for example, if I come to the content, like content will describe what post the content is, like based on the content only I used to see what it is, the product is all about, and whether should I buy or not. Based on the content we will come to know about the product. And coming to the context, context is nothing but like if I have some image or some joke, if I place among 3000 word blog, then that post will not be identified so easily, because whenever the new posts comes, the people will people used to go attracted for those posts only. So we must give some uniqueness to that particular post and context so that the people come for it and buy for it. And we also have the hashtag. So hashtag will help us to so in this so that the people will come to know very easily about the products and they can easily go for it. And also we have shares. In this the currency is must, right? So we have shares as a currency. So shares is nothing but when people attract they used to share, when they don't attract they doesn't go for sharing the product. So we must have some concentration on that. Then actually we have some applications. So if you can observe we have computer, mobile devices and tablet to perform some different tasks. And also we have the NDA, which is nothing but a new drug application to have a safest drug clinical trials which will be completed for marketing. And also we have the paid advertising services also. And also we have through this through this platform we have another main use is that we cannot reach our audience when we are doing only marketing through some naked hands on naked things. Whereas when we use this social media platforms, we can directly go we can directly communicate with the audiences about their feedback or whatever they need and reach large audiences. Like if I'm starting a new business at one place, I can reach only the surrounding peoples. Whereas if I use my social media, I can reach my overall audiences. So this is main import like applications of our social media marketing. And this impact is that it will allow us to become a omnipresent, and it will also increase our personalization. Like personalization it will increase, like our development will also be increasing, and we can have some more loyalty towards it. And we can also have increasing in referrals. Like whenever we refer we used to get increasing credibility also. And we can also have ourselves in personal brand, like we can build ourselves in that. Then actually we have coming to the conclusion, we have five main pillars for our social media marketing. So one is strategy. So strategy, that is nothing but the right content to be given at the right people at the right time. So when we do this we will get a exact income or the profit from the users. And coming to the actually in this we have three contents. That is, one is create we must create the valuable content, and the second one we must have the drive engagement, and we have to increase our conversions. So if we do these three, then we will be sure for strategy. Then coming to the second point, that is the publishing and the planning. Before I enter into my social media marketing, I must have a plan in what I have designed my product. So based on that, I have to know my audience, what they are in need, and I have to focus on the quality, how the product quality is, and how the people will buy for it. And also I have to concentrate on the competitors, where if they are better than this product, then I have to make much more better as a product so that the people will come for it. And if you can observe here, which will enhance which will establish the two-way communication with customers. Like when we will actually, I have told only 2 points, and third point is that listening and engagement, that is nothing but the feedback which will improve the awareness and the reputation of the organization. So when we get the feedback from the audiences, we can automatically improve ourselves, and we can improve our organization. Then coming to the fourth point, it is nothing but the analytics. Analytics will analyze the first we have to analyze the use, like what the peoples are in need, or we have to understand the behavior of the peoples. Then we have to conclude that finally what they are in need. Based on that only we have to give our best product to them so that they will use it properly, and they will give us a good feedback so that our organization will be developed. And coming to the fifth, it is advertising. Actually in advertising we have three kinds, that is organic, paid, and then the organic, paid, and we have the The organic is nothing but the organic paid and then earned. So organic is nothing but the views, like viewers or the organic. We no need to pay for it. It will automatically, the views will be shared by others, so that it will be automatically gained it. Then coming to the paid, it will be like some other business will own it and our sponsors will give money, and then we can have an ads. Then coming to the third one, earned. Earned is nothing but the whenever the people's likes, shares, and comments, it will make our product more valuable. So this is all about my social media marketing topic, and thank you all for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shalini.
With this, we come to the end of the paper presentation. I want to thank all the participants, and this was really an interesting and content-filled session.
Sir, I have only one doubt.
Yes, sir.
Madam, yeah, your presentation is good and the topic also very good. The only question, for which age group social media is more effective?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get you. For which age group?
Social media marketing, social media advertising is effective. For which age group it will be more effective? Whether you are thinking that social media is more powerful in this current trend?
Yes, sir, because we can't go for every place, and we can't sell our product very easily. So whereas we can use our social media, and we can easily spread out our product very easily. Sir.
Okay, madam. No, my main focus is to which age group the social media is powerful and it will be more effective.
Sir, I think it's above 15, sir, because under 15 they doesn't know much, whereas above 15 it will be more effective, sir.
So do you mean the social media is powerful after 50 age group of people?
Yeah, I think so, sir. And as a student, I'm not sure about it, sir.
These academicians who are doctorates.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Fine. Yes, just only one question. Just I would like to ask.
Dr. Rupa was there here, and she has presented. She is very much here.
Fine,
she's very competitive also. Yes, you can ask any question.
Yes, sir. Madam, Dr. Rupa, madam.
May I now invite Dr. Kumar K.R., Principal, Management College, to take over the proceedings.
Shall I take? Yes. On behalf of organizing committee and a jury member, it is my pleasure to address paper presentation, International Conference on Digital Business and Innovations. Total 5 people were selected, but out of 120, it is not possible only for 5 is selected. I think all presentations, it was very good. The end result is really excellent. Their findings, suggestions, conclusions, all it's very good, especially for online buying behavior, Dr. Rupa, and business interest using local festival, Dr. Govindraj, employee attrition, ICT sector, Rachel Madam, and self-management and emotional intelligence. So these kind of, and last one, students, social media marketing, it's almost excellent. Their entire activities, even Rupa Madam paper, I am very much impressed. the principal component analysis and the rotated matrix, Kronberg alpha, so many fantastic things seems to available in the data analysis interpretation point of good and everything. So far my observations, all the jury member on behalf I am speaking, there is no much difference between one article to other article, but slight, the micro level, some difference is there. Based on that only, we are going to determine which paper is the best. All paper is the best, no doubt, but small, some the difference and the distance also it is available. So for the purpose, we are going to take within a few minutes with the help of the jury member. Once again, we are going to discuss, we will announce which is the best paper with help of our professor and academic auditor Professor Satyanarayana will announce all the details. So kindly wait few minutes. Thank you all. Over to MC.
When you're at Ebenezer, you are at the right track of your career. We are here to make sure we turn you into a successful professional.
Hostel is a key factor of college in Bengaluru. We are proud to have beautiful hostel inside campus with all modern equipments. It feels just like staying at home.
At Ebenezer, our goal is to train your brain to think beyond and make you dare to try for the impossible.
I now invite Professor Satyanarayan to declare the best paper.
All the inputs given by prominent academicians and others, it's a strong foundation for future. We are delighted and we are thankful for the gracious presence of all the members and all the panel members. Also, I thank this opportunity. I take this opportunity. And Dr. Madheshwaran, we are very grateful to you for your presence here. Please be in touch with us. We want to see you more and more. Okay, it is time now.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. It is time now that, it's like running 100 meters and everybody runs, maybe 1 second here and there will be difference. But all are runners, they're all fast runners. Similarly, it happened like this, that some of the papers we saw, the inputs that's going to help in future, valuable information. We have seen, Dr. Rupa, we declared the best paper, number 1, for this online buying behavior. Dr. Rupa.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Dr. Rupa. And the second best paper.
Congratulations, madam, Dr. Rupa, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Although everything was good, we consider this young student, Shalini, from Coimbatore, Ratnam College, she spoke about social media marketing for her age and being student. I am delighted to announce that she second best paper.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Shalin.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. And as far as
Congratulations, Shalini madam.
and the last but not the least is Professor Rachel from VIT University. We are very happy to offer a third best prize. Thank you very much once again to every one of you. Valuable information. We are going to keep it for long. My special thanks to Dr. Madheshwaran once again. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, one.
Rupa, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Commerce helps us to get what we want at right time, right place, and right price.
Where there is a commerce, there is a peace.
Commerce is a game of skill which everyone can't play, but few can play well.
Commerce acts as a catalyst between the manufacturer and customers. It establishes employment opportunities, it encourages trade in the global level, assists in the growth of developing industries.
May I now request Professor Vijay Kumar to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose the vote of thanks for this special occasion. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence. I am also very much thankful to all the conference advisory committee members and the invited speakers. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape the conference. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our Honorable Minister, Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Minister for Higher Education, Government of Karnataka, Dr. Niranjana Vannali, Vice Chancellor, Bangalore North University. I am also thankful to the Registrar Evaluation, Bangalore North University, Dr. D. Dominic. My special thanks to Mr. Sanjeev Chincholi, Chairman, Ebenezer Group of Institutions, Mr. Upasana Chincholi, Secretary, Mr. Pankaj Roy, Executive Director, Mr. Lofi Vellara, Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Neetu Vellara, Director, Admissions, Ebenezer Group of Institutions, for various help we received towards this conference. Today, my words are not enough to express the gratitude to Dr. Ganesh Kumar, Professor, Indian Institute of Plantation Management, who graced us with his kind words. We will ever remain grateful to the panel discussion team, Professor Satyanarayana R., Dr. Priyanka Krishnamurthy, Mr. Deepak and Mr. G. Hu Yu, and we thank you for being with us today. I am very much thankful to all the jury members, Dr. Madheshwaran, Dr. Thirukumaran, and Dr. Ganesh Babu for their presence during this conference. At this juncture, I would also like to thank our principal, Dr. Theresia Dennis, Ebenezer School and College of Nursing, for various help we received towards the conference. My sincere thanks to Dr. Kumar K.R., Principal, Ebenezer Management College, for his help and support at various stages. I am very much thankful For the sponsors, Movers India Private Limited, Mr. G.S. Umesh and Co., Chartered Accountant, Mr. Vinay and Mr. Keshav, Chartered Accountants. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated faculty colleagues and non-teaching staff members who always stand by us and motivate us. I feel proud and thank you for making this event a successful one. Thank you, one and all.
We have come to the end of the conference. The present digital world has given us hope to move on in this pandemic-stricken world. The word impossible has been conquered. With this, I want to thank and congratulate all the participants and viewers for your valuable time and making this conference a grand success. Thank you.